Welcome to Sistah Speak, Snowpiercer, where we discuss that TNT original series, Snowpiercer, from a sister's point of view as some other folk too. I'm Sister J.
I'm Sister A.
I'm Zombie Scotty.
And I am Sister K, and welcome to our very first episode where we're going to be talking about season 2, episode 1. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Sir Zombie Scotty.
Yes, we got Sir Zombie Scotty in the house.
In the house.
Very much appreciate the invitation, ladies.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My
Before
pleasure.
we get started, though, with all of Snowpiercer talk, we want to talk, go into our normal little routine where we talk about what we're sipping on, what we're lipping on, and Zombie Scotty is going to join us for that little segment as well. So,
And I'll start first because I'm the oldest. Okay. For those of y'all that should know, I'm a Tailie. So I got my camo on today. And because I'm a Tailie, Tailies don't wear bling, so I don't have no bling on today. But I do have my lippy. And that is, I got a new one today. I got a new one. This is another, it's called Juvia's. Juvias, Juvia's. And today I have on some toffee. And it says, and I love the container. Isn't that beautiful?
That's nice.
And it's toffee.
It's a
really
nice color.
nice.
Very
Yes.
nice color.
Works very
And it's
well.
a velvety matte. And it's a really creamy matte, but it is a matte. So I have some of my CBD lip
Ooh, child.
Oh, my
rejuvenator
goodness.
underneath.
Of course.
Hopefully it'll keep her calm.
Don't
Go
No,
eat it.
I only had one little swipe, so I got some other shit to keep me calm. I'm getting to it. Just it
Okay.
interrupted me. And of course, I have my Avon lip liner glimmer sticks in chocolate. And for my sipping tonight, oh man, I would just like to say hats off to you, Snoop. I'm drinking some Snoop Red. I love this wine. Snoop did a good job. It is nice and deep, but it is not bitter and it's not sweet. It's just kind of in between. It's really a smooth drinking wine.
Okay.
Tip it up. Tip it up.
Cheers.
You see my
Cheers.
glass, don't you?
It's a big ass glass.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's going to be going
Cheers.
down real fast.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. You got the bottle with you?
No.
A little pouring off to the
Wait a
side.
minute. But if we need to, I can take an intermission.
With Zoom, you don't have to tell anybody anything that's truthful.
there you
Just
go.
put that bottle up
Yeah,
there.
they can't see anything under here.
There's no bottle
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
Okay, I'm done.
I can go next.
Okay.
So for my lippy, for my bling, I don't have any bling on except for my Sistah Speak wash.
And why are you
face.
dressed in that fashion?
And hold up. And my permanent bling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or swag, excuse me,
Snaps.
swag.
Very nice.
Oh, and I do have a couple of blingy rings
See
on.
some rings on today. Look at you.
Because
Man.
I am in the night car tonight.
Ooh,
Gonna get my
dang.
groove on.
Exactly.
So I put on my little nice little
Looks great.
little
Yeah,
shirt.
you look
You
like
look
you ready to
fabulous,
party.
Yes, darling.
Got my little bling on. And then
Mhm.
for my lippy, I wanted to go very bold tonight. This is it's not brand new, but it's a MAC. Oh, okay.
Hiya.
Lovely lipstick.
Woo!
And
Nice.
it is not a matte, but it is. Oh, let me show you the container. It's so cute.
Ooh,
Yeah. I love
Bullets.
matte containers.
But this color is called 9 Lives, and it has given me some life.
Ooh,
tonight.
wow.
Ooh,
That
that's
goes
a red.
perfect with your top.
Yeah.
I am so missing out.
Yes, Zombie Scotty, we gotta get you some lipstick. Come
Yeah.
on,
Got
man.
to
Or
catch
hey,
up.
you got to get you some CBD balm. Hey,
Yeah.
that'll
Catch up.
work.
Keep those lips fresh.
Fresh and
Sister
smooth.
A and Sister LM and loving that CB and Sister A. Y'all all loving
I
that.
you
got my
sipping?
own as well.
So then for my drink, I do have some in my Patreon thermos. Thank you, Patreon. I do have some lemonade powder with some water and some ice. You can't really hear it. It's all kind of gelled together. But for my cocktail while I'm grooving in the night car.
Ooh. Wow, look at you. That is full up.
I'm up to the top, baby.
Just so that I didn't have to go back and get some later.
Okay. What you
I haven't
got?
taken a sip yet. My mouth is watering for it, y'all.
All this provocative talk here. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Drinking all the time. Cheers.
Ooh.
All right then.
This is some Dogliotti.
Yes.
Moscato d'Asti. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some bubbly.
Yeah,
Bubbles.
bubbly.
This
Sparkling.
was the one that we had in that very nice Italian restaurant in Nashville when we were at the Con of Thrones family reunion.
Yeah, remember that?
Awesome.
And
time.
so it took a while to find it, but I found it and it's delicious.
And who found that?
The J found it.
Finder's fee.
Oh,
She
I
wishes.
should have charged, shouldn't I?
Cheers, Sister J.
You're
Cheers to that. And that is me done.
All right, Sir Zombie, why don't you go ahead?
What you sipping
well,
on?
thank you. I'm Sir Zombie Scotty of House Silverfox, Lord Commander of the Sisters Guard. Invited to join the ladies on the Snowpiercer podcast tonight, and reached out to Sister K and told her we should hang out, as you can see, in the night car.
Night car.
We didn't get no invite.
Yeah, the tube.
Y'all
the tube
did. Y'all said it
message-
was easier to dress as a Tailie.
Like I said,
Sorry, Zombie.
Tailies do not dress like they are dressed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Tell him. Tell him.
Well, my tube letter said that it was going to be a sort of early Mardi Gras celebration in the night car tonight, so I wore my mask.
There you
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'd have known we were going to do the whole lip balm fingernail polish thing, I'd have gone Dave Bowie on y'all.
Next
Done it all
time.
in
Oh,
black.
yeah, next time.
Next time.
So the only kind of cool stuff that I don't have lipstick and lip balm, but I do want to let you know that I usually put my microphone on my Walking Dead Compendium number 3.
Put it in front of your chest.
In
front
front
of yourself.
of you. Yeah.
Because it's, like, really
Oh,
thick.
look at that.
Wow.
What is
There's
it?
something. It's I think it's the Walking Dead Compendium number 3.
Wow.
So if you want to know like the thickness of the Walking Dead comic books, it's like 4 times that width.
Wow.
It's just
Wow.
huge. And then don't be mad, but this is my pencil holder.
I love it. I love it.
It's been transformed into a
It's
pencil holder. because I
functional.
chipped
That's
it.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
I love
And I
it.
always get to have it right here, and it doesn't have coffee in it where mold can grow. So
Yes.
That's a
right.
great mug.
and
Or
tonight I'm
pencil holder.
consuming a local ale brewed at White Oak, my favorite brewery in the
White
world. So
Oak.
very
What's the
pleased.
name of it? What's the name of it?
Oh, what do they call it? They just call it blonde, yo. Just blonde.
Okay.
Just a simple
Oh,
name.
well,
No,
Okay.
yeah.
White oak
Oh.
blonde.
It would be called White Oak Blonde. Yes.
Okay.
That's like
Nice.
white.
It's
White on white.
Yeah,
There you
white
go.
on white.
For those of y'all that like the dark, yeah, that would be too light.
That'd be a little
they do brew a really good dark beer, but I couldn't find
Okay.
it in the local store, and I don't like to run around to many different places these
Oh.
days. You know what I'm saying?
Not these
So I
days.
just took what I could get and moved on. so.
Exactly.
I like blonde too, though. The Guinness
Mhm.
blonde is really good. If you like,
You can make
blonde.
any beer well. You just have to take the time to make it well.
You really
know,
do.
and
Mhm,
if you
mhm.
don't, then it whatever. But anyway, thank you for having me on, ladies. I can't wait to talk
Thank
about
you
this.
so
Welcome
much.
aboard.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Yay!
Totally stoked.
Okay, for me, I have my usual hydrating
Giant Zach.
sack full of water, ice water. I will also be enjoying in my pink mug tonight. I'm not having an adult beverage.
Oh.
I'm having a Dr. Pepper
Oh,
on
yes.
ice.
That's your last one.
Yeah, it is my last one.
That's your last one.
I finally kicked that
Oh,
six
wow.
pack. I am also a Tailie, but I'm a Tailie that has escaped up train. Okay,
And
so I got my
leave me
clean
alone.
hair.
Yes.
I got some
That's the thing
bling.
about us people in a night car. You don't know where we're from.
Ah, there you go, though.
Anywhere.
Really,
We're just hanging
really.
out.
True.
So
Yeah, because everybody goes to the night car.
That's true.
yeah.
I mean, first class goes there, second
Not the
goes
Tailies
there.
though.
The Tailies don't
No.
till recently.
Yeah, Tailies.
Yeah.
Hey,
Those
That's okay.
thirsty firsties be coming to third, though.
They sure do.
Yeah, anyone that's thirsty goes.
Yeah, those
Uh-huh.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We Tailies, we gonna be kicking some ass.
Oh yeah, we're on the loose now. So
Mhm.
Well, you're on the
Yeah.
border now. You run the border.
Mhm.
that's right.
We
we're running
are the border.
Yeah.
Feel that
Now.
waffle.
Mhm.
Sorry.
On my lips tonight, I am wearing the liquid cat suit
Ooh.
in my favorite Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, that's your
I
color.
like
dark. Give
I
it a little
like it.
It's a
pop
nice
there.
color.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very
It's
nice.
really nice.
And that's pretty much me.
That's
Awesome.
good.
All right.
Okay.
So we can get into
Yes, let's do
Snowpiercer.
it.
So before we start about this season of Snowpiercer, since this is our first time podcasting it, I would love to hear y'all's opinions on the first season and how you fell into watching.
Can I say
I
something
watched-
quickly before anybody else speaks? Because
Mhm.
all I want to say is this. The very first episode, I thought of Sister J. And the reason I did is because I saw the movie and the movie had no detective plot in it. And
None.
the brilliance of season one was you started with a detective story. So
Yep.
it doesn't matter where you are, Mars, Venus, Earth, a train. It's the same human stuff you're
Yeah.
looking for. Who did it?
Exactly.
And that was a really good way to get through the first 6 or 7 episodes. And then they could reveal all the other stuff. So I was in from episode 1, thought it was 10 times better than the movie. I wanted to say that before Sister J said, it's a detective story. And then
Yeah.
I was just following
But you know
trail.
what? That is a very good point, Zombie Scotty, because I did watch the movie. Now I watched the series first because I didn't know there was a movie. But then I went back and watched the movie and I thought, well, this sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
it was I was bored to tears,
Mm.
from the movie. I was just bored. And it's just so different. And I think you're absolutely right. That's because they start with that human connection first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the movie was all about a revolution that took 2
Yeah.
hours to develop, right? And
Yeah.
And it was
And,
weird and just
Yeah, but
yeah.
I did like the pacing of course they can go slower in a series, but I did like the
Yeah.
pacing of it because it took me a minute to, every episode starts with, and there's 1,001 cars and stuff, but it took me a minute to get oriented with, okay, so what's the difference, between Tailies and they're at the very, very back. And it took me a while too to realize that there's more than one car of Tailies.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, they were just like where Layton is. That's just the first car of the Tailies,
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah, they did come out and tell you there was 1,001 cars.
yes,
But you got to imagine what that means. And it
I
wasn't like till
know.
Mhm.
episode 7 or something where they showed the train going on a big bend.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then they were saying, okay, our train just passes point 6 minutes till you guys. All right,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
if they didn't know
Yeah.
that
long or
earlier,
something,
I
isn't
would have
it?
had a, yeah.
Yeah.
But that
was
was
awesome,
just
though.
so wonderful. I thought just the way they did that. But I liked it when they finally showed the other cars between
Yeah.
first car and the engine,
Mhm.
and then the different. I mean, they have a garden cars. They have a whole aquarium with
Yeah,
animals and
all the
sharks and
animals,
everything.
yeah.
I mean, it was just wonderful. It was just, I loved it. It was just great. Just the whole concept is just,
Yeah.
man, the mind who thought of that. I'm really impressed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Sister
And
A.
taking you through the train, through the mind of the detective. It
Yes,
always made
yes.
sense while you were in that space. So you never felt like the writers were trying to show you the spaces.
Exactly.
They had to be in them. So that detective line really.
Right.
and the fact that he was always watching, like what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Always.
It was.
And
Every new
And-
space to try to scope out what was going
Right.
on.
but also we got a lot of a point of view from the brakeman too. The blonde girl, I forget what her name is, but she's a
Jill.
brakeman. And
Yes.
you're right, we got a lot of points of view
Bess,
from her
yeah.
too. So I really liked how they, even with Melanie, we saw it from her point of view as well as she was going into those. And I mean, let's talk about this for a minute though. But hey, it's kind of like that everywhere. There's such a stark contrast between them motherfuckers in first and the
Oh,
Tailies.
massive.
course.
We see the darkness and the grime and just the
Filth.
fighting to stay alive, from the Tailies. And then we go up
Starving.
into first, and they got these big ass suites and shit. Have the
Yeah.
nerve to have 2 levels. Got it
Yes.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Living room, everything.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
It was just so
I kept
amazing.
one of the things I really dug was the Melanie, that's her name. You find
Yes.
out pretty early that she's running the show, right? I mean, it's like
Yes.
episode 3, right?
First episode.
And then it's like, why do all these nasty firsties have all this power? Your stock don't matter now.
Exactly.
And
But
then I
that's
figured,
because she led them to believe.
But it
Yeah.
does
that
matter
did.
because
Yeah.
the whole premise is, what do you do when you have, they think in their mind, earned the right to be there?
Because they bought a
for
ticket.
that ticket.
Right.
Yes.
And then they had people just bum rush and we're supposed to take care of you. That was their mindset in 1st.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, so now because we worked hard for what we have. Like there was one scene where there was a lady that said, well, I did this and I did this and I earned my way here.
Mhm.
I
That's
bought that
true.
ticket with that money that I earned and I worked hard for. Why should I now care about people that just snatched their way onto this train and now they're going to take the resources
my
that I
resources,
should be
yeah.
able to live in? I should be able,
However,
and I don't agree with her, but I feel
The
like
way
they
they
were trying to
think.
make a commentary about
Mhm.
how we run this world.
well, however, as somebody
They're
pointed out, and I
entitled.
can't remember which one pointed out, if it wasn't for the Tailies and even the people in third, nothing would get done on the train. Wouldn't be no food, wouldn't be no water, wouldn't be no nothing. And that was third.
because they're doing the jobs
They're
that
working.
they
That's the working class
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Not to be a psychologist for a moment, but I think what they really got right in the writing is what are the stories that rich people have to tell themselves to let others suffer? And that's why the notion of a ticket becomes so important, because
Absolutely.
once you can use that word ticket, everybody understands it, then you can justify any suffering your existence
Yeah.
renders on them because you have the ticket. And I kept thinking, why is Jennifer Connelly's character letting this go on? And then, because she's telling everybody Wilford's alive. If Wilford's alive, then these people up front still have this power.
Exactly.
So I thought, okay, I give him credit for writing it that way because I never
But-
quite said it like that. I had to figure it out later. But I
But
thought
the
that
people
was
in
cool.
first only have power because Melanie allows them to have
Yep.
power. Because when they step out of line or she feels in her mind and her space, oh no, they stepping on my shit. Well,
Yeah.
let's just see. She picks up the phone. Mr. Wilfred,
Yep.
and they do what, and once she do that
Well-
one scene, you want to talk to him, he wants to talk to you. And everybody backed out. Everybody got
Uh-huh.
scared.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See,
And
so
for 7
no,
years this
she
went
got
on.
the power, and she
Mhm.
allows them
That's
to
pretty
think
impressive.
they have the power.
And but this is why
I loved it
I did.
this is why I
because
loved,
that's really how the world is.
this
Go
is
ahead,
why I
You got
Okay.
Sister J, hold on. This is why I love so much about this first season is because they shifted our perspective and then our feeling for the characters shifted because we got to see behind the scenes, quote unquote,
Mhm.
of Melanie. And the reason she did that, even though yes, she's allowing it, but she did it because she felt and believed that this was the only way to keep control of
Yes.
Snowpiercer, of the train,
Exactly.
because it's a very delicate balance. So she was thinking, well, I have to maintain this balance, and this is just the way it is. Because if I don't, then all of the shit unravels. One
Mhm.
domino piece falls,
But she's right.
and the whole thing fails. And we
Yep.
saw that. We saw
Yeah.
that happen. So it made you really go, shit, I'm hating her in the first few episodes because of how these Tailies are being treated. But then you're like, well, hell, she has a reason for this.
She has
Now,
to.
did she really need to have people's arms getting frosted off and shit?
Now that part,
No.
the discipline
Bam.
part is
Right.
is
Did
the
she
really
need
bad
to?
part.
But then all the other steps that she would take to maintain that what she thought was a semblance of normalcy, it started crumbling as soon as we started getting more and more into the season.
But think about human beings for a minute and human nature. You got
I'm
to
with you.
do something for human beings to actually get your point. Oh, you can sell wolf tickets all day, and a lot of people do. But until you have some action to back up that, until you show someone or a group of people the consequences of their behavior, they're not going to be in line.
Change.
So from her point of view, I could see where she felt like that was some kind of disciplinary action. Just like, in our society today, we have places like Gitmo, we have the death penalty for some things and stuff. There's got to be some kind of dire consequence, and depending upon what you do. But in fairness to Melanie, though, even the Tailies had a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Every single group had a hierarchy.
Well
even the third. Now, the third was all the worker people.
Yeah.
But them jailers and brakemen, they had a higher hierarchy than the other folk.
Yes. They
So
did.
So each group had their own little hierarchy, probably had their own little disciplinary system and stuff. But overall, they all had the hierarchy of what they thought was Mr. Wilford.
I really like that about the way they wrote it, because no one gets to be Mr. Clean, right? No one gets
No
to be
one.
right.
Yep.
And the only thing I would say about the way they wrote Melanie is that whole freezing the woman's hand and bashing it with a hammer stuff, that happened after I think she had already said to someone, I'm doing what I can to keep order.
Exactly.
And I thought, well, I mean, in the end, what the writers might have thought was having her do that and have to live with that herself may have been what kind of made her to say, I'm done. You guys find something better.
And they showed us that in that scene, because what did she do? As soon as she did the pinky, she went and threw up in the other room.
She did.
In the bathroom. She was throwing up.
And even, she knew everybody would be really mad, or the writers, everybody would be really mad and upset when she put Leighton in the drawer after he helped solve the whole crime.
Mm-hmm.
However, when she explained why and what they were doing
with the drawers
to the people in the drawers.
Now, did you all believe her?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm just curious because it's a wonderful lie. Oh,
you didn't
that's
believe her?
That's Noah's Ark, man. We're just protecting them.
Just believe
You didn't believe her?
No, I thought it was well written to the point where I could doubt it. Right. In other words, like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's what you tell them now, and they leave you alone.
I believed her though, simply because
I think there were two levels of the drawers, because it was used as a punishment for some, and for others, it was supposedly used to preserve them until whatever happens to the world happened.
So it's a good drugs, bad drugs doors.
Probably. No, really.
It looked like there was all bad drugs in them doors.
Because the woman they had accused of the first murder,
she was in the bad
she was deep down in it. Because they had, it took them a while to
get her out.
To get her out and get her up to surface and stuff. And wasn't there a scene or something where Melanie was having a conversation with the doctor who put the people in the drawers, and she says something about his level, like Leighton's level or something. Anyway, I just
she said he's very important, so take
exactly. And so to me,
damage is what she
exactly. Yeah. So to me, that showed that there were, like Zombie Scotty said, there were levels of. And maybe a criminal would be,
deep down in
as it is in our world, huh?
Yeah.
White collar versus blue collar crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what I thought too. Because people that commit white collar crimes, for the most part, they have very light sentences, and they generally get probation.
A lot of freedom.
Or they stay in luxury resorts.
Not really.
No, they get home confinement, please, with an ankle bracelet. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah. Those things hurt, man.
I have a curfew.
Wait a minute.
Really?
Zombie Scotty, did you watch P-Valley?
Oh my God, yes.
See, okay. I'd be like, man. Oh yeah, I'd have some kid running mine, so I could go do what I need to do.
I mean, he was slipping in and out of that thing like it wasn't.
I love that show.
I love that.
That was Game of Thrones in the Mississippi Bayou, man. That was.
I love it.
A fantastic show.
Oh God!
Some dancing like you never seen.
Okay.
Sister A, we didn't hear from her yet on the first
Oh.
season, what she loved. And
Oh yeah, so I wasn't as easily sold to this series as maybe some of the rest of you. I had heard it was a good series from Sister J and Sister K. I gave the first episode I really didn't give it obviously enough time. I think I watched maybe half an hour of it or something, and I was like, I can't, because they were all just stuck in the tail section.
Mhm.
It was utter chaos, and I was like, I mean, how can this train be so narrow? So long, what is going on? So I stopped watching. Then I picked it up again. I watched it with Mr. A. Both of us were like, no. But then I heard it was coming back again. Sister K, Sister J said, please give it a try. And once I got through that first half an hour and they came to get Leighton and they brought him out,
You could see other parts.
you could see other parts and see him discovering things as well.
Yeah.
I was hooked. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
and I just zipped through the 10
Yeah.
the rest
episodes.
of it.
Yeah.
And how did Mr. A did
He
like
likes it
too?
a lot as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we watched
Even
the,
Manchester United fans can understand what's going on in this show.
Okay now. No.
we won't get that started, Susan.
Just saying,
Okay.
you know.
I was just going to say before we move on, one of the storylines that I really, really enjoyed, and that is the whole depiction or the whole start of his little arc to the end of the show of Miles and Miles.
Miles and Miles.
That first of all, that little kid was so cute.
Wasn't he cute?
So
It
cute.
was.
But I like the way that they did it. You
Mhm.
know, and obviously the Melanie and the people in first, they go back to the Tailies and they pick certain children to, mentor up. You could say propaganda,
Train.
whatever the case is,
To
but
work on the train later.
yeah, to work on the train later, but
Educate and work.
right,
Yeah.
but different ones are in different capacities, and I just thought it was really well done how they showed this kid going from the Tailie part all the way up to where he was in the engine room. And then it dawned on me, okay, so they done had a conversation way before he went up there about, you're gonna be telling us all the stuff. But I didn't get that at first though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I thought that was well
Really smart.
done, because I
Mhm.
like it when I cannot predict that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
And
I
they set
really
it
like
up-
his character too.
They set it up to make sense that he was picked because it was a political ploy on Melanie's
Yes.
part to basically have him
Yes.
as a hostage,
Yep,
know.
they were both
Exactly.
using him.
And
So
then it was,
that's the
it was
thing. The writing
further-
made sense.
Yes, and it further made sense because he was already naturally smart.
Naturally
Yeah.
He,
smart.
Yeah,
he obviously was helping her with her equations on how to figure things out.
Exactly.
Had a
Wait.
fresh-
Yeah, it was great.
You know what sold me? The one time that they sat Leighton down with a hot cup of tomato soup, grilled
Yes.
cheese sandwich.
I know. I
I
felt so
was
bad for
sold.
him. I said, oh my God, something that we just
Yep.
take for
You know,
granted to
that-
go
when
into
you
the
brought
pantry
that-
and get.
I was like, ooh.
Oh,
No, I was
like,
you have to have a grilled
I
cheese
would
sandwich
love
with the
that
tomato
meal.
soup.
Mhm.
Oh
See,
man,
I'm
that's
not
the
a
best
I would have
tomatoes.
started squawking.
Me too.
mean,
I wanted to, hey, let me
this
tell
is
you
not
everything
bride
you know.
quality
Can I
food.
get a second bowl?
That's my
I tell you
bride
everything
meal.
you want to know.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, I'll solve your crime. Where's my second bowl?
Exactly. Yeah. You got another sandwich?
Can we talk for a second about the killer job he's doing playing that role?
I
Oh,
love that guy. I love
He
that
is
actor.
So good.
His facial expressions
His
are not the
voice.
kind I usually see. He's got a way of stretching his emotions, making them ambiguous. And
Yes.
at first you feel like he's underselling the role. And then you just feel like, no, this is him being, I would argue, it feels to me authentic. And
Yes.
I'm delighted to see it because I'm so tired of the masculine trope. I'm so tired. This
Absolutely.
vulnerable guy who's, once he gets around a woman he used to be a lover with, he can't help himself. He
Yes.
falls in love. He just in the flow of life and being open and manly and vulnerable. And that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay. Well, okay.
Agreed.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I got a question.
Oh,
And that is, I love his name is David
David.
King.
Diggs.
King, is it?
Diggs.
Diggs.
Diggs. Okay. And I really like him. He's a good actor. But on the characters, okay. When that chick, well, I can't even think of what her name is. When she said
Zara, his old girlfriend.
Zara, his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
When we first meet her, didn't they say that Zara was also with the second guy that got murdered?
Yes.
So I don't think that's his baby.
Well, I do.
I think that's the other guy's baby.
Well,
Are you trying to demote her to chick-ho status? Is that what
She was a trick hoe.
No, because
And
what
a
they said.
snitch.
Yeah, she was a big snitch.
A big snitch, but we won't even get into that because it makes me mad all over
But
again.
they said at the very beginning that the night car, when they were first bringing him to the night car to interview his companions or whatever they called this group, this is a new community love relationship. That's what everyone's developed in this night car that live there, and that they have these communities of people. So polyamorous relationships where there's
The car that y'all are in, you two down there.
Yeah, the car they in.
We're partying.
And?
We're partying in. We're
I'm
not.
sensing
Oh,
judgment.
he talking about and.
I'm sensing some judgment.
Y'all are tight. I mean, this is Sistah Speak, yo.
Okay. But they said that at the very beginning. And then when he walked in there and saw Zara in that situation, and he's like, that's where that cheese sandwich and soup came from.
Yeah.
And,
She knew.
this is why this is how you knew I was a detective. Because there was no way for them to know except that she said it to them.
Of course.
Yeah, that's right.
But
She wanted her husband or whatever he was supposed to be called avenged or figure out what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I just got a sneaking feeling he ain't your daddy.
But I
Possible.
thought that the guy had been dead for a minute.
No, I took it like
It just happened.
it just
How
happened.
long had that girl been in the locker?
2 years.
2 years.
Right.
So
But
means
that
it's
was
been
the
dead for at
first-
least
That was the
3
first
The
murder.
first
though.
crime. But
Oh, you're
that was
right.
the
you're
first
right.
murder. And I took it like time frame wise, linear time frame wise,
Yeah.
as the reason why they went and got him is
Mm.
because the second one had happened. And we talking about like, that week or something. So
Yeah.
That could be. But
and-
she did say, she did say, I don't know if it was Zara that said it or if it was Audrey, the bar owner,
yeah.
who said something about.
I like the Audrey character.
I like Audrey
her.
too. That
Can I
they
just
get-
quickly? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to quickly add what I also love about the show is if you're gonna write a script that you want to express something about a culture,
Mhm.
it has to be good, right?
Mhm.
It has to be good. And we've already seen Watchmen, we've seen Lovecraft Country. And then you can't do what they're doing in American Gods and try to make social comments, and it's not good. I mean, the writing isn't good because it's almost a betrayal of what you started off trying to talk about. And I just love how this show is. I'm gonna use the word in its lane, and that's not trying to keep it small. It's
I know what you're
sci-fi
saying.
fantasy.
Focus.
Yes.
That's focused. And like I said earlier, starting with a detective story was just brilliant. And it makes me think next time I write something fantasy wise, I'm starting with a detective novel.
you go.
Starting with a
Yeah,
detective
smart.
story.
Hey,
That's the hook.
I hear you. I mean, I like writing mysteries and detective stories. So anyway,
But yeah, but
I
they said in that
think-
scene or that section of scenes that
I
you
think when the
had
baby
been
come out,
denied-
mhm.
wait,
Nah.
they had been denied being able to have children because it was.
well, I know all that,
kept.
but
And
Yeah.
then based on we'll get to
I'm
it.
suspicious of that bitch though.
Well, yes,
Oh,
they-
And I'm
maybe
real
should be.
disappointed that she ain't had no consequences to her actions
Jim was
because
dead.
she's the one that got Josie hemmed up and
Yeah,
she
killed.
did. She did.
She's the one. She told on them,
Sure
knowing
did.
good and damn well what would happen.
Snitch
Oh no,
again.
I'm through with her.
Mm.
She
And
can be all
that's
kind of
just-
pregnant.
and
I
so-
don't
Code
care.
number one.
Right.
Just-
Don't be a snitch.
I know.
That's
And
what,
she no, but see, this is what gets me. Okay, so you didn't want that life in a Tailie, so you took yourself out and everything. That's fine, but why are you gonna mess up everybody else's shit?
Same weakness. It's all the same weakness, right? It's all
Yeah.
the same lack of conviction. And
Mhm.
people like that float. So I think letting her float's good. And you may be very well right. And then what that means is Leighton's going to have another personal challenge later.
right.
And
Oh
you know,
yeah, he gonna have to kill her.
Oh my! Okay, we went all the way to killing.
Oh yeah, you watch. Oh yeah.
Oh.
A difficult choice to
Oh,
make.
she's putting him in a trick. I'm telling you, he ain't the daddy.
She is manipulating him. I do agree with that because there is no way in hell that he was.
And she's manipulating everybody. And I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't even pregnant. But no, we know she is pregnant.
She starts hanging out with Wilford. We know her end is coming soon. Right? We know her end is coming soon.
Yes. So let's get into this season premiere.
Okay.
Well, how we left it though was Melanie was outside.
Yeah.
Trying to
It
keep
was
the
still
train.
outside.
Wait, before we get into that finale episode.
Oh man.
Melanie and Ben are hooking up. They're together. But that whole episode, he was squirrely as hell. Whenever Javi kept hearing that noise or the music.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, what is he doing? Why is he avoiding telling her about this other train? Like he obviously knew who it was.
He knew before Javi.
That's what I think too,
Yeah.
because looking back on it, and like I went and rewatched it too, so I'd be all caught up, and I thought, this mother effer, he's
shady.
He knows Big Betty out there.
Big Alice.
I mean Alice, Big Alice
Big Betty
is out
Alice. We're all good.
there. Yeah, that's American
But my
Gods,
thing
Betty.
is, okay, now if he really had Snowpiercer's, life in his mind, like to keep Snowpiercer going, why would he have not told her that so they could have figured out how to try to avoid Big Alice?
Something up.
Him trying to hide it from her, but he thinks that they need Big Alice. He wants them to stay together. Well, from the finale, that's what he was telling her when they were trying to go outside. He's like, we need her.
And they had lost a lot of
we're
things.
falling apart.
During that season.
She's like, but you don't understand who Wilford is. You don't understand what he would do.
And he's the one who made the point that the motor might be perpetual, but these parts aren't.
True.
And,
you lost all of your beef. There's no more beef.
No. So saying that, I love the fact that now he's sophisticated, right? And that's what I like about all of this is you don't know anybody completely. No. And everybody's a human. And that's not difficult to manage and to keep us going for 10 hours. So I always see it as a real accomplishment.
Yeah, but I like Melanie because as she proved, she is everybody playing checkers and she playing chess.
She's a badass.
She sure is.
Smart.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
First
and
of
I
all,
love that they have her being the main engineer who even built Snowpiercer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
See, this is what gets me. Even from the season 1. I mean, yeah, she did some shady shit, but I couldn't be mad at the girl because that chick is smart.
And they did put an MIT
to even devise the plan to keep it going. I mean, really. To devise the plan to keep it going, to keep everybody in the dark, keep all the hospitality people scared enough that they don't want to go up in there, in the engine room to see Mr. Willard.
They can't even get up there.
No, they can't.
And we don't really know the whole story on why she got rid of Wilford yet, right?
Well, she did talk about it in that.
Yeah, she did.
When she got caught and was about to, when she was in that room locked up, handcuffed, and Ruth came and was. I love Ruth. I love Ruth. She is so good.
But she was so mad. Can we talk about how mad we were when she went up there? When she went up there, when they first told her, and Melanie is Mr. Wilford, she doing everything. No, y'all,
She's
no.
like, there's no way that
she is a believer.
Possible.
Right. And until she went actually up to that engine room and saw all of Melanie's stuff and everything. But she was so mad.
I thought that was a little bit of a comment on Britishness and actually believing in monarchies, right? In other words, they're vulnerable to believing in these godlike human beings, right? And
that's the point, though. I mean,
I like the fact. Yeah. And I did like the relationship between her and the cop. I thought it was,
I did too. I like that.
I felt so bad for her when he invited her to lunch.
I know. And then it was a switcheroo.
Her.
Like,
and can I say that she looked good?
She looked good.
It was such a nice team. Yeah.
Her hair was down. We'd never seen her with her hair down with other clothes on.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, I did want to have lunch with you, but really what I want to talk about is her facial expression was like, damn it. damn, the
know.
one time I thought I was getting ready to find somebody that I could really
Care about.
like.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought she was thinking more like, man, that 7-year itch is just getting
Well, that's probably also what she was thinking about too. Like, damn, you thought I was gonna get me
Yeah,
some shit.
I was looking forward.
But no, that scene where that scene where she goes to confront Melanie.
Yeah.
And she's like, so everything was a lie. So
Everything.
the friendship that I thought we
Never on
had, the
board.
lunches that we had, the time that you, on behalf of Mr. Wilford, gave me my commendation, all of that wasn't true. None of that was true. And just the look on her face, and she was so hurt by that
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and so angry.
The whole
And
time.
Yep, the whole time. So I really can't fault her for any of those.
No.
And
Oh,
not wanting to deal with Melanie at
Absolutely.
all.
And let's make it clear, I want that woman as my wartime concierge.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna mess. When it gets thick, she's there and she knows what to do.
she's loyal though.
Yeah.
She is loyal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
And now
Hospitality.
one thing about Ruth, she knows how to, once she gets all the facts and stuff, she knows how to change and maneuver with the time.
Yes, she does.
But she is loyal. If she says she's going to do whatever, then she's going to do
She's
whatever.
gonna do it.
Well,
Exactly. So I do
Well,
like her.
I hope she stays on the Snowpiercer side and doesn't.
I think she will. I think
I'm
she
not
will.
sure.
Sean
I'm
Bean is a
hoping.
good-looking man.
Well, but okay.
Well,
and he is British.
did you notice when she did this? When she did tell Nolan, I think it was his name,
Nolan, yeah.
at lunch
Irish
before he
dude.
revealed what was going on. When she was saying how she and Mr. Wilford met, to
Mhm.
me it kind of felt like she was a little bit in love with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The way she was talking about him, like, oh, not
Yes.
only did he believe in me,
Yeah.
but also I kind of had a little, thing for him.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna put some of that thought into
It could
this
be.
Yeah.
season. Now
You
that
never
we have
know.
Mr. Wilford.
Wilford's
be a
going to
weak
try to
spot.
play her for sure.
Of
Mhm.
course.
Right?
Yeah.
And that'll
So-
probably be her struggle
Yes.
Yeah.
over the
For sure.
season is Wilford or the Snowpiercer.
Hang in there, Ruth.
Ruth,
Well, if she's
we
smart,
love
she
you.
just get what she wants and then go back to Snowpiercer.
She's not that kind of woman, though. She
No,
wants it
she's not that
all.
kind of
She's no
woman.
hoe.
You don't always have to think it through. You don't always have to think it through,
You don't,
right?
You don't. But I think
Exactly.
she really. I think she would. I think she would.
I think she would.
There you
She'd
go.
feel guilty.
So going on to
Now I
this
feel bad.
season.
No, you don't.
what you
You
said.
know you don't.
Don't at all. Thank you.
But they started right where we left off. Melanie had went to try to uncouple or figure out how to
Mm.
try to uncouple Big Alice from Snowpiercer, and she ends up getting tossed off the train when it stops.
Yep.
And so she's out on the snowbank on the side, and then that was also really awesome to see the size of her compared to the size of the train.
The train.
Awesome.
That
Oh
train
my
was
gosh.
Massive.
humongous.
Now
So
I'm going to argue
tall.
that something like that should have happened earlier, and the reason is because all throughout the season we're seeing the cops run through the bottom, and
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah.
don't. So if we'd have seen a scene like that earlier,
Oh, you
You know.
never rode a double-decker train or a triple-decker train?
I don't
never
know. I
rode
was in
one?
cars in the smoking car all night. So
See, well, no, I have because when you're on a
Yeah.
double-decker train and when you're on a sleeper train,
Mhm.
those sleeper cars, they have 3 levels.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, some of those sleepers are like, you could just maybe 4 feet off the actual ground is where they
Okay.
start.
All right.
And by the time you get to the observation car, of which going through Colorado on a train
Mm.
and the observation car,
Oh,
because
that'd be
you're
beautiful.
way up there and you could just see, I mean,
That's
the whole
cool.
ceiling is glass. It's beautiful.
That is a
Really
bucket list
beautiful.
issue. Yes.
It is beautiful, but
Definitely.
yeah.
I feel like the Snowpiercer model or whatever it is we were looking at in that episode was a lot bigger than a normal
Yeah.
double decker,
Oh,
triple
definitely.
decker.
Of course, they want you
It was
to
huge.
feel that way.
Yeah. But you
But
kind of caught that by we have some cars with 2-level houses, plus all
exactly.
that bottom level where they could get from car to car to car so
Exactly.
easily. You
Yeah.
kind of could, but you never saw the scale of it until that final episode, which was great.
Yeah, I don't know if Amtrak has any triple deckers anymore because it used to be back in the 50s and 60s, train travel was a lot more prevalent than airplane travel. And so you could go anywhere on a train. So I mean, and the highest I ever saw was three levels. So,
Wow.
but we're talking about like a three-story house.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's
That is
big.
big.
For
And it's a train
Yep.
Moving.
going 200 miles an hour.
I don't think they go that fast.
Well,
Jay.
I think a regular train goes like maybe 150,
Mhm.
maybe 131, 140. Yeah.
It
Oh,
depends.
yeah.
Just
They
also
went quick.
quickly add that one character that I thought was done very well in the first season was the rich daughter.
Oh,
Oh,
Ellie.
crazy motherfucker.
Oh my
Crazy.
god!
Crazy.
But
as
you know what?
heck.
A whole lot of rich people got crazy motherfucking kids
Well, that's
Because-
the point, right?
because
Exactly.
they don't have to
Parents are
do
crazy, too.
anything but
So what kind of
breathe
world do they
air.
they make up a world that I've often asked myself. I said earlier, what do rich people have to teach their kids
Nothing.
so that they don't feel the guilt of all the suffering in the world because they're rich? And that's the kind of stuff you see them make up. I ain't going to go into nothing contemporary, but they just make up this world so they can get through the day and not feel any guilt. And
Okay.
I thought they
But
did.
all that
So
whole
let me
thing
ask
was
you.
just because, and Leighton said it, so you did all of that just to feel something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Just to
but-
feel something.
I got a
Well,
question
here's
for Sir Zombie Scotty.
Uh-oh. Yes.
From a psychological
Oh, shit.
standpoint,
Uh-oh.
what was the motherfucking deal you think between daddy and daughter?
Mm.
Oh, well,
Oh.
well, the issue is because when you're that wealthy, right? The contingencies of your daily life, the contingencies, what you get up in the morning, what you do, have very little to do with the food you're eating. They have very little to do with where your water comes from. So these people end up making up this world of things that are important because they don't have anything better to do, because most of the people are worried about getting food, going to work, taking care of their kids. So I think he was a typical affluent father who hadn't come to grips with the life he was living, and so couldn't stand to see his daughter experience any negativity. And because of that, they both live in this bizarre bubble where she can go, dude, let me see it. And he pops his eye out. I mean,
Oh,
know,
And
part of
the
I
mother
forgot
What
about
the
even-
fuck was that?
part of being a
Yes.
parent's being a bad guy. If you can't be the bad guy, don't do the job. And if you think that your kids are wrong because you're the bad guy, you don't get the job. Yeah, I'm sorry, but my kids had to grow up against me. Because why? Because when they leave my house, they got to go out there. And believe me, they don't care.
They
Yeah.
don't.
I gotta teach
Yeah,
them
exactly.
like when
They
people
gotta
don't
be
care.
ready.
They got to
have
be
to be
ready.
ready.
Absolutely. Got to be resilient. And this
Mhm.
little girl in the show is not resilient.
No.
And I can tell you, my little girls are resilient. They told me to a long time ago. And they had to learn how to do that, right?
Yeah,
And how to make
yeah.
things happen. So yeah, he's lame.
But the mother said when she was talking to
That's a-
Melanie about the trial that was coming up. Like, oh, you don't know
Oh.
us. She said when she was 4, she got mad. Little
Oh, yeah.
LJ
LJ.
had the fork, poked the daddy's eye out. While the eye is poked out and the shit's running down his face, he's picking up the baby, trying to console her through her tantrum. He wasn't
Yeah.
worried about his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
now when she's this grown, probably 18, 19 years old,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, daddy, pop the eye out just to make her feel better because she's about to go on trial for something she fucking did.
Yeah.
He's going, oh, hey, here's the eye.
Yeah,
You
no,
can tell
she's
the
Mouth.
mother is bothered by it, but
Oh yeah.
that mother knows exactly what's
But the
going
mother
on.
wants the
Yes.
trappings of being the
Yes.
leader.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So she, hey, what y'all do, this is what I thought. What y'all two do over here is fine, but y'all
don't
ain't gonna
listen to
be
me.
raining on my ability to still be number one woman.
right.
You know what I mean?
No,
That's the way
she
I
was
took her.
She was the one
typical
in charge of everything.
Right.
affluent privilege,
Yeah.
saying the kind of stupid stuff people in that world say.
Yeah.
And what I love about a show like this is it shows what, Walking Dead didn't really have a whole lot of rich people on it. Why? Because in the zombie apocalypse, they all die.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They just die because they don't know what to do. It's the working class that knows what to do,
Yeah.
right? Nuts and bolts,
Yeah.
baby. And so I love these shows that show what happens when the trappings of their world fall apart and she
Yeah.
loses her mind trying to assert authority that doesn't matter. I just love those kind of
Yeah.
moments because it reveals this ridiculous pseudo space they live in. So yeah.
The daughter winds up sacrificing the mom and dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
She sent them to that point
Yep.
because she knew what was going to happen.
I don't
Yeah.
think she knew. Did you think she knew it
I
was
think
going to
she knew.
happen?
I agree with
You
Sister
do?
A.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
she do also.
I don't think she
She
knew.
said, "Oh, make sure you're at that trial or at that car, so you can assert your."
She did.
authority.
She
She
did.
did say that, but I didn't think it was
Mhm.
That's a
because
good
she
point.
knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
she
she's
did.
completely
Exactly.
ungrounded. And now she
Yeah.
thinks she gets to meet Mr. Wilford. I mean, she's just ridiculously.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's-
Wilford will love her.
Yeah,
out
because
there.
she crazy.
Oh, and what did you think about that damn Osweiler, the brakeman,
Oh yes,
I love
Which
it.
one?
the football player,
the football player?
The guy with the beard.
Yeah,
I love
the
him.
little faux
the young guy.
The muffin.
that was
No,
getting-
wait a minute. No,
the
no.
one that was getting blowjobs for
Yeah,
no,
drugs.
The football
Okay.
Oh no, he need to die.
Yeah,
He need to die. He need to
That was a
go.
good character. I
He
love
is
the
a
head
character.
brakeman.
He
Yeah.
is a.
I like the head brakeman
Yeah, I do
too. Yeah, I like
Cutting
him.
his muffins, loving his wife, doing his job. He knows
Exactly.
exactly
Yes.
what's going on
That's right.
everywhere.
Yes,
But I like him
He's great.
because he is flexible in his
Right.
thinking
right.
and in his belief system. So he's not the kind of person that, yeah, I'm living my life and I'm loyal to my wife and eat my muffins and stuff, but I can't see. There's some people like that, but they can't see nothing else. I don't want to
he
know.
knows.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he knows. So
Yeah,
I
when he-
like
him a lot,
him.
too.
When he decides to join the fight, he knows a lot of y'all are going to die.
Yeah.
And I might be one of you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I know that. So he's not saying hyperbole, revolution, do
Exactly.
it right. He's saying, no, this has got to change. This is how I'm going to work. A lot of us are going to die. And those are the kind of people you want to be around, right? Because they get it.
What is the woman's name? The brakeman woman, the blonde?
Till
Yes.
Till.
right, best Till.
Yes.
You know what?
Love her hair, by the way.
They gonna have to put on. They gonna have to give that chick another shirt. I'm
Well,
tired of seeing this
I
bloody
agree
ass
with
shirt.
that. That's one of the
Yes.
first thing I said.
Woo!
Yes.
Why are you walking around in that bloodstained
How come
shirt?
Because
she
they're
can't,
trying
she
to
can't go and change some clothes?
Because it's Jay. They're okay. So let's get into it.
I
Because they're trying to show we ain't had no time in between their
That's true.
battle to revolution
That's
and
true.
this Big Alice coming up and hooking on to them. They had
That's
no
true.
time to even. It was just the
Okay.
next day, and they got pulled into all these directions trying to lead,
Yeah,
which they
that's
don't
right.
really know how to do.
Well, I'm going to tell you that she's in the night car all the time, and that's exactly what she wears every time she comes. All right.
Bloodstained shirt.
That's her night.
I
that's her
thought that
night
too.
car
I was like,
outfit.
they need to get her. She
Yeah.
needs to just,
They need to
somebody
get
needs
Coat
to
on or something.
come over.
Yeah.
They need to have some
Yeah.
little lackey person just.
Well, this is what I don't
Here's
like
your-
about it. This is what I don't like about it. And that is because I don't like it because it reminds me of how many men directors do women in their productions. And that is, you got all these men standing around in scenes with a long sleeve shirt and a heavy coat, including Leighton.
True.
He got on a long sleeve shirt and a heavy coat. She
Hmm.
running around in a little vest and a white bloodstained shirt. Ain't she cold?
Exactly.
You got these men. Wait a minute. You got these men with coats and shit like the dude getting high. He got two coats
Pipe.
on.
Pipe,
And those half gloves with your fingers out.
Mhm.
fingerless.
And
gloves.
he's freezing his ass. But she running around with a vest and a
That's
shirt.
a good point.
Oh, I don't like that. I was so irritated. I said, you know
Good
what?
point.
No.
But she's really tough.
That's not the point. I know.
I'm just
The
teasing.
point is they always do that shit to
They
the
do.
women.
They do.
Scantily
Damn.
clad.
Now,
Somehow.
why? Why do you think? What's the issue? You think it's a sexualization issue? They just want
Hell
to.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
they're
wasn't
bad
there a
from
scene-
man's
I
point
mean-
of view?
Well, but wasn't there a scene early on in the series where Davy Diggs was shirtless for a while?
He was in the bed with the
Yeah.
Y'all got
He
yours.
was in the bed with
he was in the bed butt booty naked
So I mean, I don't know what you're complaining about.
and looking good too, I might add.
Zombie Scotty, you stepped into that one. Yeah, he was amazing.
You forgot about that part.
Hey, I'm just an equal opportunity luster here. That's okay.
But
As long as there's something
they
for
wasn't
everybody.
in the,
Exactly.
wait a minute, they wasn't in the night the Tailie
That's
car
all
getting
right.
ready to do battle.
No, you're right. It is kind of ridiculous.
Look at it next time. All these men got on coats and all this stuff.
Maybe she's not that smart.
They have, I mean, this show, for it to be, even though it's
I
on
shouldn't have said that.
cable,
I'm sorry.
they do have a lot of nakedness on the show, which I'm fine with. But I don't have
a problem
the
with
first
it.
season when I was like, oh, there's some booty over there. Oh, there's some more booty over there. Okay.
But I would just like to know why, of all the characters who's helping to lead the revolution, she's the only one with a shirt,
I
well,
agree.
a shirt and a vest on.
agree.
That's a very good point.
Everybody else got a coat, long sleeve shirt, turtleneck, something.
But I will say it's consistent from the finale when they were having their battle. And they are trying to think to make
All them dead people laying around there, she would have grabbed up a coat.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah, she would have. Especially once it started getting cold. The first time it got cold, she would have got a coat.
I'm making a note. Sister J will not pick up, or Sister K will not pick up a dead person's coat.
Because I will snatch it off your ass.
You're with me in the zombie apocalypse, man.
Mine
You have to
now.
find your own coat. That's what I'm saying.
I will,
if it's a
I will
zombie
grab that
apocalypse,
coat.
depending on how gored up it is, but half the people that we saw laying on the ground was all bloody.
it was
I'm
a
not
mess.
picking up a bloody
It
shirt.
That's
was a
true.
mess.
That's
It was a
true.
mess.
Yeah.
I'll go to
That's
somebody's house and go get their spare coat out of
There you go.
their room. But,
Anyway, okay.
We get into this episode.
Can we?
We finally in the episode.
This is how we do, y'all.
How we do.
how we
Well,
do.
How you do, and I get to be a guest and appreciate it.
Yes.
We'll now do as well.
Oh, you just fall right on in there.
You
we
sure
do
did.
that.
You ladies, or I am of your kind, if I may say. Right?
Oh, yes, you
Yes,
are
one of
tribe.
us.
You are definitely our
In
tribe.
the family.
Appreciate it.
You can't get
You
out
did.
now.
Yeah,
did
you
give
can't
me-
get out now.
No, please. You gave me this little plot of land. I get to call a place House Silver Fox in the Sistah Speak Nation.
In our
That's
kingdom.
right.
Kingdom.
In our
I'm
kingdom.
eternally in your debt.
Queendom, you're right.
Queendom.
In our
Exactly.
We
queendom.
got 4 queens.
That's
Yeah.
right.
If I put my mask on, I could say "as you wish."
there you go.
Thank you for that.
You're more than welcome.
Don't make me laugh while I'm trying to drink.
I do have blonde hair too,
drink
by
my
the way.
drink.
So you know it.
There you go, Sister A.
Just saying.
Oh, I was going to say, though, I know Sister K likes this, that the very start of the episode is when David, aka Leighton, narrates to us what is happening. And in this case, it was like a cartoonish
Brilliant.
kind
Yeah.
of image, which I thought was way cool.
And it
That
was
was-
my
that
town,
was good.
Chicago. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Chi-Town.
I like that too, Sister A, because it really did help you to reorient. He said 19 revolutions. He said
Yes,
after
which is
19 revolutions.
almost
and I
8.
thought, oh my
So they
gosh.
do, I think, two revolutions a year.
Every year.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's another thing that's just so much better in the TV show than was in the movie is revolution has more than one meaning, right? So
Absolutely.
so that really played off much better in the TV series than it did
Mhm.
in the movie. I never really made a connection between how many times they'd been going around the world in the
You're
movie.
right.
Yeah.
And revolution means we're revolting, but in the show, both of them have this really cool counterpoint meaning
that's true.
that you
Yeah.
can take.
Very
And
true.
Yeah.
very clever writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved it when he pointed out that Snowpiercer had 994 cars and Big
Big
Alice had
Alice.
40.
40.
Yeah.
40.
I was
That's
wondering,
long.
how big is she?
But
I
did
know,
you
but
notice-
that's still a lot of cars.
Yeah.
though.
Notice how he said Big Alice 40 cars long and Snowpiercer 994 cars strong.
Strong. Yeah, he did.
And then it makes you, as you watch the episode, you're like, this shit ain't no joke, because
Yeah.
Big Alice only being 40 cars, Big Alice got some damn power.
She has
Because she's
stopped
the one
that.
stopping 994 cars and starting 994 cars. Reversing, going back. So
Mhm.
that tells you something right there.
Mhm.
But like he said, one of his people said, yeah, but she's only 40 cars. He said, yeah, but we don't know how she been retrofit.
Right.
So
I
she
love it.
must have been
Remember, she
retrofit
had
to
that
be
big
awful strong.
clamp.
That was awesome.
Exactly.
She clamped that thing.
No, that's one of those moments when science fiction really matters, right? When the special effects
know.
matter.
Mhm.
Because what it says is, I'm stopping your ass. And it's just that simple. And, you know, it's
Not
not
only
about.
stopping, she's clamping on.
Yeah.
She's got mechanisms
Mhm.
to get
That-
into
yeah.
Yeah.
She
your
hacked into your
computer base
system.
and also
Exactly.
open up your door. Like
Wait,
she just
wait,
rolled
wait,
it all
wait.
over.
Wait, but like you pointed out from season 1,
There are all kinds of sexual
how do we
jokes I'm not
know?
making.
How do we know that Sam ain't helping?
We don't.
Sam,
Like you said,
mean Ben?
yeah, the other one.
What other
How
one?
do we know? Because he obviously knew Big Alice was out there.
Ben.
Oh, Ben. Okay.
Ben.
Well,
So
and it's
how do we know, regardless of what he's saying to Melanie over that little two-way shortwave radio, how do we know he didn't help in some way?
I love it. That's episode 8, right? I mean,
You know?
could.
Yeah.
It could.
I mean,
because-
really?
Oh, that's a twist that could come up.
exactly.
Because-
but it was
Because they can't. They're not going to
Another
be. They're not going to be able to
surprise.
survive without Big Alice. They made that clear in episode
Yeah.
1.
Yep,
So
they
somehow
did.
they're going to have to kill everybody and take it over, or
No,
integrate.
But by
And
the end, we
Zombie
know
Scotty-
Big Alice can't survive without them.
But listen, interestingly enough, Zombie Scotty, what you just said, Snowpiercer can't survive. Ben was telling this to Melanie last season in the finale. She's like, but you don't know Wilford. But it was interesting how in this episode, how they brought her around to be like, yeah, we can't survive without it. Even though I don't want to jack with this fool,
I love it.
Right.
I want to make it sure. Which at the time, I did not know what, I thought she was just
Exactly.
creating a bomb to make sure they
Yeah.
decouple at some point. But
I
that was
didn't
a
get
really
that.
cool little
That's how
thing.
smart she is.
Yes.
I
So
know, because I
Yep.
didn't
3,
get that.
4
I
That was a
thought,
steps
design
ahead.
flaw of his that she
Yes.
pointed out to him years ago.
Years
that
ago.
She used to now clamp them together forever. They can't.
okay, can we talk about the daughter?
Yes, Alex.
I'm sorry, but I was so irritated
Already, huh?
already with this kid. I
Already.
want her kicked off the train, do something. I don't care if she is the engineer. Bring miles for miles over there.
She's
No,
not going
don't
anywhere.
That is an incredibly important point because she's been raised by Wilford in privilege,
I know.
right?
I know.
And she's basically the plot equivalent of the rich girl with the
LJ.
first,
Thank you,
right?
LJ. All over
in her
again.
mother's position.
All over
Her
again,
mother's-
exactly.
All over
Yes.
again. You
So
are
you are-
so right. And maybe that's why I was so irritated. But I was just irritated in just the way they have this girl acting. You know what I mean?
Well,
Oh, that's all because of
She's pissed
1990s, 2000 Nicktoons crap.
She's
Sorry.
a pissed off teenager that's mad at her
yes,
mom.
she's
Yeah,
and
she
you
is.
don't know the stories that Wilford's been saying. Like, first of all,
That's true.
he's pissed. He is hot.
Yeah.
He is hot.
He's
And the
hot,
reason he is hot,
Okay, but
And that
he
has a
can
double
piss.
meaning.
Yeah, it does have a double meaning. He did look good. When he raised them
You're
right
into
up.
that
I was
kind of
like,
thing.
oh, go ahead. Wilford, aka Ned Stark, aka
man
Dubs.
looking good though.
all them.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Sean Bean, and I hate the fact that he never gets to be the good guy. Here's what I'm
He did. He
concerned.
did get to be the good guy. Guess what happened to him?
He got his
Oh.
head
The good
chopped
guy and he
off.
died.
Well,
for it.
okay, that's my point, right? You know, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm concerned about. What I loved about Melanie as the bad guy was in the end, we couldn't just call her a straight up bad guy.
Right.
No.
We had to do some work. What I'm concerned about with Sean Bean's character is what's his moral story we don't know.
Yeah, but we seen in one episode. We don't know.
All I'm saying is if he doesn't have a backstory that justifies his narcissism, he's just going to be a straight up traditional
We gonna see.
bad guy. And I really, that's not good for the show.
Hmm.
That,
Okay,
unless-
but this is what I
Somebody's
think.
got to be the bad
But-
guy,
But
though.
okay, but this is what
Fair
I
enough.
think. Just
Right?
from episode 1 for season 2. This is what I think. Yes, they're setting him up to be the bad guy, but I don't think that's what he's going to end up being. I think. Well, I interpreted his behavior toward Melanie is because she hurt him deeply.
Right.
He don't want to kill her.
She screwed him.
And right. But he is genuinely hurt in his ego. You know what I mean? Deep
Yep.
in his ego.
Oh, yeah.
Because and especially
His manhood.
I think, I think that is
Brittle
his
ass
whole
man.
motivation for his interaction with her.
Yeah,
And I get that from that scene when he said, I took you from that pigsty farm
Oh, he loves
and I
him.
taught you everything.
Yeah.
And this is what you do to me.
His
But more than that,
me.
I think he is that child's daddy.
That's what I was going to
wondering
say.
about that too.
But she
That's
calls
what I
him
was gonna
Dubs.
Dubs, I love that.
Dubs.
Hey,
When I heard
Dubs.
him talking to Melanie, all I could
Not the
hear was
same.
that 80s song, Don't You Want Me, Baby, right? Where-
Don't you want me?
exactly.
Okay, and this
Well,
is
he did
another
everything
thing.
for her,
This is
right?
another thing. This is
Of course,
another
from his
thing.
view.
But
Yeah.
I thought it was very revealing at the very beginning of the episode that he said this child to tell them, you got 12 minutes to get me all this stuff. And when Ruth got
You
the
mean
list, she
his
said,
DoorDash
"Hey."
order?
Yeah, his DoorDash order. And wait a minute, Ruth got it. She says, wait a minute, this is just not incidentals. What is this? Beer, a chicken, some eggs, some fruit. You know,
Carrots.
so
Liquor.
evidently Big
It's liquor.
Alice ain't got everything they need.
They don't.
I-
They don't have
No.
fresh shit because they don't have room for the aggro car.
See?
Yep.
And I think by asking for that weird assortment of stuff that like you need to live, they were
Yes.
actually trying to sample how vital is
Yes.
this economy? How vital
Exactly.
is
Yes,
this
exactly.
culture? I thought it was
That was a
brilliant
test.
Exactly.
announcement.
That was a
Right.
test.
Do they have
Yeah.
everything that
It was a
one
test.
might need?
It was
You're
a
right.
test.
It's a test. But he knew where his liquor was,
Even
though, didn't
literature.
he? He knew where his liquor
Wait,
was.
and as soon as he got the liquor, he's like, "Oh, Audrey, she's alive and well."
I know. 'Cause
Right?
he knew Audrey had
Guys,
it.
Keep that
Any good
shit
narcissist
together.
knows where their liquor is.
He wanted to know who the brewer was, who the engineers were.
Right. And Melanie
it's
was
even more
yep, she's
statue
like, you know what?
there.
Name, rank, and serial number. That's all
He
you
wouldn't
know.
say a thing.
He's like, isn't it that Ben? That Ben is up there, ain't he? Uh-huh. Because he
Love
wants
it.
to know. I think what it is too is that yes, his ego is hurt, but he's
Yes.
super pissed because he
Super.
is the one who, in his mind, created everything.
Mhm.
And when he sat there and she's like, "Oh, you have
Stole
dimmers." And when they were sitting side by side and he was telling her, "We have this and this and this," and he's like, "I've been working this whole time." Whereas, you know, when she said last season, "I'm the one who built this train," it made it sound like he had no input in it. But this was really kind of establishing that, oh, you built this train because I taught you or I mentored you or I did something to where I was also smart enough to build my own. Now, whether he was smart enough to hire people to do it or if he actually has that kind
Right.
of engineering
Yeah.
smarts, we don't know yet.
Well, see,
But
but
I think he is highly pissed. And then the fact that now he has the leverage of her daughter that he went and saved, basically. Because obviously
Mhm.
Yeah.
he went and got her once Melanie
Right.
left and saved her. You know, the whole time this child's been growing up, yo
Right.
mama this, yo mama that,
Brainwashed.
yo mama
Two
this.
things.
So that's
Number
why
one.
she's probably got this little teen attitude.
Of course.
two things. Number one, it's not Melanie's fault that the grandparents and the child refused to go with the people she sent to go get them.
Did.
So they would have all been on the train together. The grandparents said, no, I ain't going,
Yeah.
which, you know, is their right to do. Number one. Number
Right.
two, I did not get the feeling that only Mr. Wilford built the train or that only Melanie built the train. They built that train, Snowpiercer, together.
Right.
And the reason why she knows how to maintain the train, and she didn't build it all by herself,
No. I'm not saying that.
you
but she
know,
designed
but the
it.
reason she knows how to
The idea behind
maintain
it.
that train is because she helped him build it.
Right.
And evidently throughout their design and phase and everything, she tried to tell him, well, as the engineer, because she's an engineer too, she
Right.
says, this won't work, this will work, this won't work, this won't work. And he, no, I want it this way. Okay, well, hey, it's your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how she knew how to sabotage correctly.
Right.
Yeah, listening to you,
See?
I think they were lovers. I think
Yes.
I think that the young girl is their daughter,
Yep.
and I think it's just a bad divorce,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Mm.
and because the level of hate and loathing she has for him
I
is a
mean,
lover's hate.
Absolutely.
It's
You
not
don't care that much unless you love the person.
exactly. And
That's that lovers hate.
exactly. So I would love, and I'm glad we had this conversation because I wasn't sure whether or not he was just a rich guy who paid a smart woman from MIT to build it.
No.
But you're right. When she said to him, but wait a minute, I told you that you over controlled the couplings. That means he understood what she was saying back then. So
And
they
this is what I
yes.
really
They're both
think.
engineers.
This is what I think we're going to
Yeah,
find
they're both
out.
engineers.
And I think,
I
that
think
him
what we're
being
gonna
the
find out-
mentor over her, she probably feels manipulated or taken advantage of because he was obviously her boss, mentor, everything else.
Absolutely.
And for them to have started a relationship could have been
Right.
a little ambiguous there, but then also because his shit comes with conditions, obviously. Like he's not just doing
Obviously.
this shit for his benevolent feeling that he's going to get from having saved humanity. He was building this for
Yeah.
his
But see,
purposes.
I disagree.
Don't get
I
me
think
started.
I disagree. I think we're going to find out in his backstory that when it all started, when the whole global warming, climate change thing first started, because we're going to get some kind of backstory on that. I think that he found himself to be as Zombie Scotty points out, a super rich guy sitting around on all his Wall Street money and billions and this, that, and the other thinking, what could I do? What could I do?
Save
I
humanity.
think it's partly,
Exactly.
no, really. I think it's partly
Yep.
to save humanity so he could be king,
Ego.
but partly because he actually wanted to do something good for
Can we say
humanity.
virgin?
So he
Isn't-
could be in the history books and say,
Yeah.
get those accolades. You know what I mean?
No.
And I think that's probably where his mind was, coupled with the fact that someone that he mentored, or he felt like, we talk about from his point of view, he felt like he mentored and molded like I want to mold her. And she gonna run off on me, and I done taught her everything she know.
It is so creepy.
Yeah.
And true to life, how many, I'll say men, because usually it's men in those roles,
Usually.
experience it that way.
Yeah.
It's just that creepy and for real.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do when you're caught up with someone in that world but get out.
And that's what
Because-
she did. That's
And
what she did. And I think when she really understood, because he got her, he said, I got you when you were 17. She was real
Damn.
young.
Right. She was
Real young.
Yeah.
So I think once she got old enough and mature enough mentally to see how she was being manipulated
Yeah.
and she didn't want that for her life, then that's when the breaks start happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's truth being spoken here right now. And I'll
Makes
say
sense.
something, and if I go a little too far into the real world we're in right
We'll
now, y'all
slap
tell me
you
to
back.
shut up. But I'll tell you what, this idea that we're going to rely on private industry to train our experts is a problem. I will just say that. And if it comes out that that's what happens, that private industry went out and recruited the best, probably paid her tuition to MIT because they claimed she was from the Midwest, blah, 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 probably spent money to make sure she got in. That's already happening.
Yeah.
Right. It's happening at the level of families. Just 2 years ago with celebrities paying millions of dollars for their kids to get into Ivy League schools.
And not even crack a book. They're not even cracking a book.
No.
Yeah.
And, and I love how that counters the Miles story, Miles for Miles, it's all there for a reason.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Miles and Miles is a Tailie. He's just naturally gifted. But you also got from season 1, you also got the idea that he is gifted because he was around Leighton. And Leighton was teaching him and Leighton required him to read and to expand his knowledge.
Also, this also tells you that there are more people like that in the tale because Leighton was not the one educating Miles.
Exactly.
Remember when he asked him, "Oh, what did you learn today? What did so and so have you learning today?"
Yeah,
he was like, "Oh, I'm learning this is this." He goes, "Oh, calculus, great." You need that.
He's not an engineer, Leighton.
Yeah,
so
see,
but there's other people in the
back. That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that scene. That's a good point. And
they have all kinds of talented people in the tale who haven't even bothered to get to know what they can or cannot do.
That's true.
And it also, like you were saying, it shows how the dichotomy between here's this Alex now is the one that's getting that privilege of being
Mhm.
raised up and taught, and here's Miles scripping and scrapping for every little piece
Yeah.
that he can
Yep.
learn, but he's got that natural talent, which is probably how
Natural.
Melanie was.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a feeling, and she really did, I think, grew to really, really like and respect Miles, because she gave him that little pen thing, and she told him in season 1,
Yes.
you remind me so much of myself.
Yes.
Because he had that natural ability.
Yeah.
And
she
even
can-
his teachers, though, remember
And
in
she
certain
was-
classrooms,
She was
they
the
were just,
Wilford to Miles
yeah,
that Wilford was to her.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
No,
Right.
that's so
She's
well
the
said.
mentor.
That's
Yeah.
so well said,
Yeah.
because she probably had imposter syndrome the whole time she was at MIT. Right. Right. She probably felt
Maybe.
like she didn't belong. She comes from a Midwest farm town. If that's what I remember her saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put a professional hat on for a moment. That's the one thing that we face in a lot of universities right now, is a lot of kids buying into the very story they're telling in this Snowpiercer tale, right? And what you have to do is invite them in and cultivate their talent. And the whole narrative about who can, who can't, raising my kids to say, I don't want to ever hear I can't. What I want to hear is I'm
You
not
all
trying.
can.
Yep.
And,
But
you
it's
know,
not
I
only,
tried.
but even though this series is showing children, it's not only just for kids, it's for anyone at any
Oh, yeah.
age. Because I went to law school as an adult.
Yeah.
Same thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm from the Midwest, Kansas. Yay.
Oh, I had imposter syndrome the whole time I was in college, man. Like, give me that brick.
I didn't.
Get
You
that
know
stuff in
why?
my head, man.
You know why I didn't? And that's because all these professors sitting in the classroom teaching this shit that I lived through. And I would go,
Fair enough.
excuse me.
Yeah.
And I'd be talking. And then
There
all
you
the
go.
kids be turning to me to taking notes.
Well,
Please.
I could
I would
see
never-
that. Why
I
could
can
I
see
see
that, too.
that?
I would
Oh,
never.
you know it.
Still doing
Excuse
that
me,
today.
Professor. You're wrong.
Oh, I was always in the class.
You know, I already know.
Excuse me.
I already know. You
What really happened was
I would never.
Wait, Sister A, that was her original itching to say something, right? Itching to
Oh,
tell somebody.
Right. And this is it years later, still itching.
Itching.
I would never claim in my life to have had Sister J quality boldness. So
In your classroom.
I kept to myself, and what I did was I made sure I went to every professor's office hours, and I made sure they knew my name, and I made sure they knew I was curious, and I made sure they knew I worked. And I don't know where that came from, but and then I made sure they listened. And that was the thing, right? Providing a space for people to be themselves and listen to what they're struggling for. And
Yeah.
what are you laughing at me for now? Damn it, I'll give you my choice and you're laughing at me.
I'm laughing. Wait a minute. I'm laughing because every one of my teachers in every class knew my name. Wait a minute, because they would look on the roster. I sat on the last row, whatever the back row is, every class. And I did it on purpose. You know why? It's because this one professor, when I was an undergrad, said, all the smart people sit on the front row. So all y'all need to start moving down. So I sat on the very last row, every class I had. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
I sat in the back because I was hiding.
Hey, I sat in the back because I was trying to prove a point.
Make a
Not
point.
all
Sure.
No,
people fit
I'm
in
not
that row.
stupid, but let
No.
me tell you, I'm in the back. So
Yeah.
everybody have to come look up. Oh, who is that?
So
Because you
do
know how the
think-
rooms are like that, you know.
Do you think that Miles after Miles and this young lady Alex are going to have an interaction,
Yeah,
Oh, I think so.
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
That would be cool, right?
I think so.
A couple of
Yes.
millennials
Yeah, because I
hanging
was
out.
disappointed that I didn't see him this first
we didn't
episode.
We had
Yeah.
too much to do in this.
I know.
episode.
They had a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they got dogs in Big Alice got dogs.
Well,
Okay.
no, that's their family dog.
The family.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
that's
family
another-
She
dog.
knew the
That's
dog.
the only dog we see.
That was another clue,
The
Zombie
dog knew
Scotty.
her. Yeah, that's right.
That they're lovers because he knew her scent.
Exactly.
All I
Dog.
mean is that he
Say,
knew
oh,
her.
you remember me? Uh-huh.
Yes.
But that
no,
dog-
Okay, but before we get to all that, let's talk about. I'm not really clear why her taking the snow sample and noticing
Oh,
that it was
yes.
snowing was so important to her. I'm not really clear on that part.
Because in this world, it ain't supposed to be snowing because it's so cold out.
Right.
There's not gonna be
Oh,
any
right.
precipitation. It's just
So
gonna be
snow
straight
can't.
ice.
Because it can't snow if it's like really, really cold. It has to be some
And
kind
that's
of
true.
mixture
It doesn't snow when
of
it's really cold.
warm and cold.
So does that mean that the planet is warming?
It's changing.
Well,
I think
that
so.
was another great scene because it creates
was
this
a
another
great
ambiguity
scene.
about
Okay.
where are we, right? Because
Yeah.
we know how the movie ended, right?
Okay.
No.
Out of the
remember.
train and they see a polar bear. So we
Yeah.
know
Oh, okay.
that life exists, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Not only are we not sure who they all are, we're also not sure where they are. And
Right.
I love that kind of space.
I love that.
Okay.
Scene when she saw that snowflake.
I
and
was
she
kind of
said it.
thinking that, but I
And
wasn't
Ben was
sure.
like, no, you're
Okay.
hallucinating because you're losing oxygen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That can't be because it's too cold. And she's like, oh. And then I really loved it when she took that snow sample. This is the question
Yeah.
I have for y'all, though. Why? So when she gets in there, she's got the frostbit shoulder and all that shit. They
Mhm.
squeeze her doll. They put her in jail. When Alex comes to see her in jail,
Mhm.
and she's asking her what's outside like and all this stuff, and she's telling her about the grandparents, then she it's like she was leading up to the question she really wanted to ask. What were you doing with this little what's this sample that you took? And she told her, oh, that's a snow sample. Why? She's like, oh, because I haven't been outside in 7 years. And Alex immediately says, you're lying to me again. And then she walked away. I'm like, first of all, so 2 questions. Why did she lie about that? Why didn't she tell her that she saw snow? And then 2, how did Alex know right off the bat that she was lying?
Okay, well, I took Melanie's answer to her is because she knows the child's been indoctrinated by Mr. Wilford, and it's just like with Wilford. She said name, rank, serial number. She wasn't going to give her all the information.
Wheeling back to Wilford.
I took the girl's reaction to be a direct result of her indoctrination from Wilford. Period.
Yep.
That girl knows that Melanie is telling her what's true. And now she's got this conflict going on because now she's actually seen her mama. Who knows what he's told her about her mama. But she's actually seeing her in the flesh. Melanie's probably nothing like the dad has said. For one thing, Melanie's awfully calm, cool, and collected, ain't she?
Yep.
Calm, cool, and collected. She is not raising her voice.
But
She don't
showing
seem upset.
emotion. She shows emotion.
Of course she does.
Concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows? Probably Wilford said, oh, she's a cold-hearted bitch, blah, blah, blah.
She don't care about you because she left you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Because and the whole reason, to me, that whole episode of her talking, Alex talking, was all bogus. She was trying to figure out if her mother was like her daddy done told her all them years, and Melanie's
Haven't got
not.
confirmation it's the daddy
Well
yet.
Exactly. Well, that gonna be her daddy anyway. But she's not nothing like what he probably told her. So she's confused. She's
figure it out.
conflicted. Like, wait a minute.
It's going to turn out that she's smarter than he is, right? I mean, when she was when he told her to stop the train, and Melanie said, "Don't,
Exactly.
everybody dies." The girl sat there and played poker, right?
Yep, she did.
Wasn't an obedient stooge. And so what she's going to learn is that, her mama's a better poker player than daddy. I'm assuming that they're lovers and she's their kid. Right. And I love the idea that she's going to learn through experience, through trying out in life instead of just being blindly obedient, that in the end, mom's smarter than dad. Dad's the one who loses his cool. Dad's the one who calls people evil. Dad's the one who tells people they cheated. You've never heard Melanie say that. All you've ever seen her do is freeze someone thumb and smash her with a hammer. All right. But I mean,
for discipline, though, for discipline.
She's much more sophisticated than he is. And that's what I'm scared. I'm scared that they're just going to make him a cardboard cutout. I
don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I hope not. And I hope there's a backstory that's worthy of the show because
and the actor.
Okay, what's Sister A?
I was going to say, do you think Alex knows that's her father?
No.
That's what I'm wondering.
I mean,
I don't-
I'm totally guessing that they were lovers.
I don't think so.
and That's her kid.
Yeah.
See,
But-
we're doing the Queen Sugar Nova Bordelong Toot Sweet thing. We are supposing
Exactly.
that is the daddy,
Daddy.
but we might get jacked like we did with
Yeah,
Queen
that's
Sugar,
true.
and it
I
not
think
be.
she, I don't
But-
think she knows that that's her dad.
I don't.
No.
I agree
No.
with you, Sister.
If it
I
is,
do
I
not
don't think
believe
she
that she
knows.
knows.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you spell Toot Sweet?
TOO.
That's a joke in an old post.
T-O-T.
Yeah, I'm calling it Toot Sweet like in French, but the way
I got you. No, I made a fool of myself with that post.
No, Queen Sugar made a fool of theyself with that shit.
No.
yeah,
No.
I'm really still baffled by that.
Mm.
We
That's a
all
whole
are.
nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Mhm.
But yes, I do think that Alex is, of course, going to be salty because she's lived for the last 7-8 years hearing these stories, and she experienced it. Her mama
Right.
gone.
Yeah.
right.
Her
Yeah.
mama didn't come get her. She sent some guys to
people,
come get
mhm.
her. So, and she even said last season, Melanie, I chose the train over my child.
Yeah.
I knew
She's
that
been
I needed to
guilty.
be the one to do this train. Did she have to be the one there? Who knows? But she did. She chose the train
Right. She
over her
did say
daughter.
that.
So Alex is growing up hearing all this for 7-8 years. Yeah, your mama chose the train and all these people to save, but she didn't choose you. So this
Mhm.
child's gonna be salty. Now I wasn't irritated yet, but if they continue to have her be that salty throughout the whole season, I will be irritated.
Yeah.
But I get why she would be looking at her like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Well,
you say."
Yeah.
But
Well,
as
I'm
a
gonna tell you-
whole, she started changing halfway through because when she went to see her in the jail and she was pissed at her, you're lying to me. The next time we see Melanie, she's getting carted off to the doctors, who are very strange, interesting,
Yes.
strange, because obviously she
They're
told them
awesome.
she had some frostbite. The daughter did.
Mm.
So how else
Right.
could they have known
Obviously.
that? So she's obviously like, okay, she's my mama. I'm pissed at her, but I still want my mama to be okay. So I'm
Right.
gonna let
Because
them
Melanie
help
told her that she had a rip in her suit.
Yeah, she
So,
asked her, "Do you
yeah.
have frostbite?"
You're right.
And
You're
so
right.
Alex obviously is the one who went and told the doctors, "Go take care of her because I want my mama hurt." Now,
And
this is what I found interesting in the very first couple of minutes, even last season. Alex is controlling or directing a lot of the people working on the train.
Mm.
She's the one that says, "Hey, take her to the brig. Hey, go take her to the doctor."
Mhm.
So interestingly, that she's this young teenage girl, but yet she's running along with Wilford this train.
She's her mama's mom. She's her mama's girl.
Yeah,
Mama's girl.
exactly.
Right.
Yep. Same role.
I thought that was
Love it.
interesting.
No, I hope it all plays out that way, and then I just hope we
Yeah.
get a sophisticated backstory for Wilford. Right? Otherwise, what are they going to do in season 3? I mean,
Well, did you find it interesting that speaking of your lovely background, Audrey, when Leighton came to grab that booze, she was like, this is not what he's not just going to take over the train.
Exactly.
He's going to try to control all of
He was a player.
So obviously
Player.
Audrey and Wilford have some kind of connection.
Absolutely. Because of what he said when he said, "Oh, Audrey's still there."
Mhm.
You know where he left that booze?
In that
Exactly.
hidden compartment.
I mean,
That is
really, he knew where he
booze.
left it. He
And
left it with her.
After 7 years, she ain't touched it either.
No, she has
It
not.
wasn't open.
So we know that's going to be a thing right
It's gonna be
there.
There will be an episode called "Waiting for Wilford," and, and in that episode, we will get the story of that bottle of scotch. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That'd be great because again, I understand what I immediately jumped to him being a rich playboy player and pretty disposable and cardboardish, and that's okay. But they can't do that. They've got to be better than that. Otherwise, kill him in episode 5 and move on. Because we can't have a cardboard character for 10 episodes. It's not good enough.
I don't believe that that's going to be.
I
it.
hope not, because I would
think-
really like
I think
to
there's
see-
going to be a power struggle between, obviously, between him and Leighton. But I think it is not a foregone conclusion that he's going to be the king or the ruler. I just
love
don't
it.
think that.
Because you're going to have these. Look, Melanie doesn't start off in the world of the wealthy, but she does end up in the world of power. And if she ends up being caught up in a romantic relationship in the world of power that has come to have this huge consequence,
She's
on
not
all
going to,
these
though.
people, I can see Leighton coming in saying, "You people, I have had enough."
Now this is what I think. This is what I think might occur by the time we get to the end of season 2, and that is, I would not be surprised if Leighton and Melanie are more aligned than they are right now. And that's what I thought at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm
I think
telling you,
you're right.
that Zara or whatever her name is, Zachariah, what's her name? Zara.
His girl. His
Oh,
ex.
she gonna be. She gonna
she-
fuck it up.
Yeah, she's gonna be a mess.
Or somebody's gonna get her because she's gonna have to pay for Josie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he ran to her defense now and stuff. But I'm telling you, somebody gonna jack her
Wasn't
ass
that
up.
an interesting scene? Also,
And moving her up to uptown ain't gonna do it.
Well, didn't you find that interesting when he did have to jump in and save her from those guys that were gonna
Yes.
throw her? I thought they were gonna throw her off the thing.
Mhm.
And then Ruth came up and was like, "She's pregnant." Her whole demeanor changed.
That's because
Like, "Oh, there's a baby coming. Okay, we gotta protect this baby."
what did she say? She said that means there's hope. That's
Yeah.
what
But
it is.
But this was, I was confused a little bit by that because I thought in season 1 they had said
Right.
they were being forced to not have children, not that they couldn't have children.
Exactly.
I thought I got a
All
chill
the
with
rules, like she said to Leighton, all the rules have been changed, haven't they?
But then
Yeah.
the fact that Ruth said, "Oh, okay, this is hope now," like not like, "Oh,
Like
you
that
weren't
they couldn't
approved
before.
to do it."
Exactly.
I got a real Children of Men vibe when
Thank
that
you.
Yes.
where there's that fantastic war scene in the building, and all of a sudden you hear a baby crying, and everybody stops shooting,
They're like,
and then the baby gets out of the space, and everybody starts shooting again. Right? I thought, oh my God, we really might have a kid, and then just complete, because you just live your life differently in that space versus the other one.
mhm.
And I like that they gave
Well-
her that moment of valuing children and stuff like that.
This is what I liked about that whole scene. 2 things. Number 1, I like Brother Man looking at Leighton, telling him, your personal shit ain't gonna always be correcting this shit.
Oh my God.
Number 1, I love that. But number 2, let's give a hand to Ruth because she handled that shit. She said, "Okay, y'all go back to wherever y'all sleeping." What did they do? They turned around and
got
left.
their ass home. They showed in.
So let's give Ruth a hand here.
I love that scene. I because
too.
and I actually tried to remember the line because the guy said, "Hey, Leighton, this personal bullshit, this makes it hard to believe in your democracy."
Exactly.
And I thought, oh my God, thank you.
I know.
And then
Nepotism
Glad
don't
he
play.
said that too. I was glad he said that because Leighton need to hear that too.
But that's why Leighton also did not want Zara up in first class. She was like, "What's
Exactly.
this gonna look like?"
Exactly.
And Zara,
Yeah.
of course, as we know, she was like, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna be safe." That's what she wanted to be up in
no,
first
she's
class.
a selfish bitch.
Yes,
Everything's
yes.
about her.
That's exactly
That's
right.
exactly why she snitched on Josie and everybody.
Sister Day never gonna let her get that.
No, these-
I don't like that shit.
These writers are anything but tone deaf.
I
mean,
know.
they are
Yeah.
perfectly in tune with the conversations and discussions we're having culturally right now. And I love it because it provides a space to talk about those things without having to claim you're being political, right? You can just talk
Yes,
about the
yes,
characters and stuff
exactly, exactly.
and make your point. And I love it. That keep your personal shit out of this, or there's not going to be a democracy. Was just so
I
on
love it.
target.
Don't
I
you
love
love
it.
it?
I got boop, look at that. And that boop's on tape. Damn. Rewind this was the day when I'm feeling down. I'll just,
Yes, there you go.
Really, I do like this series. I do like it.
Okay, so
A
then what
lot.
did you think about Leighton's plan then to storm the other Big Alice basically
From
to
the
get
castle.
Melanie?
You know what? I was yelling at my TV. Will you go sit your ass down somewhere? Just rest a fucking minute.
Mm.
Shit.
This
They
have
gotta
to
put some
happen episode
bandages in.
1.
I know.
What'd you say, Sister? I missed that.
I said, does this have to happen in episode 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking, y'all don't
rest a
know. This is
minute.
not going to work. You busting through that train is not
Well,
going to go
first of
over
all,
well.
well, before
Well,
they
the
do
start
that,
of it was pretty
before
funny,
they
though.
do that,
It
let's
was.
talk about the
Yeah.
high dude.
Yeah.
Now, frankly,
Trading drugs
okay,
for food.
he was just being an enterprising individual.
Wasn't he?
Hey, my hat is off to him because he wasn't the one that started that shit. One of those little guards from Big Alice knocking on the door, tap, tap, tap. You got any more
How about a
fresh
joint?
fruit?
He's like, here you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got any fresh fruit? I got a doobie right here.
Transaction as old as time.
Okay.
It might as well
Right?
be honey. Dude, I thought this is a trap. And then it wasn't.
It wasn't.
wasn't.
No.
It wasn't a trap. And I thought,
Oh, that
y'all
dude,
got some
you know
stupid
what?
guards on the
Okay,
other side.
that's because, wait a minute, that's because
A
those
pound of
guards,
weed.
wait a minute, that's because those guards at the door saw all the contraband that Snowpiercer handed over, and it was all taken up to Mr. Willard.
Right.
So that little guard said, okay, you got any fresh fruit? Look what I got.
I need an orange, man. Here's a quarter pound of weed.
How about
Wait
when-
a minute. I was going to ask somebody that knows about some weed. Wasn't that an awful lot, big quantity? For
That's
an
a lot.
orange?
That was a lot.
But how
And
about
maybe
when
they
Pike
called
says
that a
to
lid.
him, "We make trade"? And the
Yeah.
guy's like, "Listen, douchebag,
I'm
we're
speaking
speaking English here."
That was hilarious.
That was
That was
fantastic.
That was
good.
so
That
funny.
was good.
First of all, can we just take a minute to appreciate Stephen Ogg, I think is his name, who's playing Pike?
Pike is
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, he's good.
I love he was in Westworld. What's another
Yeah.
show he was in?
He
He was
was
in
in
something
Wasn't
else.
he was a
World.
henchman in Walking Dead, man. He was one of
He's
Neil's.
in a lot of
Yes,
shows.
Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a better role in this show.
really
Yeah, I like Pike.
him a lot. I like the actor
And
a lot.
even in season 1, when he was ratting on him, I still like
Yeah.
him though, because hey, I would have done it for some cake.
But he
too.
was honest. He said, "Look, they're giving me cake and all the
Cake.
soup I can eat." So yeah,
chocolate
you
chocolate
cake.
cake with that. Yeah,
I'm talking.
chocolate cake.
Honesty
I mean,
rules,
he
man.
was
You give me another
honest.
piece of this, I'll give you the train.
And he broke it down. He's like, "Look, Leighton is not. He's a
Yes.
detective and all that, but he is not
Yes.
built for this long-term war. He don't want to hurt people. He doesn't like that shit. So yeah, all we gotta do is say, hey, we're gonna hurt some folk, and we be good to go."
And he was correct.
It was correct.
He was
It kinda
correct.
But I
reminds me of
also
the dude
like
from
that
Big
he-
Lebowski.
Didn't immediately try to go and kill Leighton. They weren't like sworn enemies after
No.
that.
Right.
I loved how they did that. Like they didn't do it like a whole lot of other shows will
Yeah.
Exactly.
write it to where once he negotiated this peace, they weren't mortal enemies after. They're still, working together on this common threat.
That's because Leighton, he's a Tailie. Leighton has loyalty to the Tailies.
Yep. And he
You know.
obviously had loyalty too.
And I also love that character before the freeze would have been in every single class of American society doing
Yes.
his job.
Pike
So
would, yes.
He knew what it was like to be with the firsties and his 30s. And
Yeah.
so he knew how to be in every space. And I
How to
thought that was
maneuver.
just so cool
Yeah.
because it was authentic.
Yes.
And every time someone said something stupid to him, and which they did in every single class, he had a lived life, detective informed way of responding that was a slam, but wasn't, mean. It was
Yeah.
just, that didn't make any sense. And
Yeah.
that was just fantastic because it always made sense where he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting there because of a revolution.
No.
He was, but he was playing a long game.
Exactly.
And to your point of why did they attack the train? It's like that's what we call a habit in psychology, right? I mean,
Yes. Exactly.
you did that
haven't.
for
Oh my
7 years, going after trying to get your ass 3
Yes.
trains ahead of where you were.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Detective to go out and so the fact that the detective called for the ambush was a little there's a slower game to be played here. But I think
see
he
your
was
point. Yeah, I see your
he was
point.
shooken by the fact that basically they could all be dead instantly
Yeah.
if Wilford pressed the button. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. He's got the nuke. We have got to do it now. So I get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I
because
can
he
see
could
his
have.
reasoning, and especially once he said, wait, and he's talking, wait, I smell some weed. Who's smoking weed? You
I
know,
love it.
and then when they found Pike, I thought, yeah, that's your way to get in.
He's like,
Actually, their plan would have worked
yeah.
had they not called the Big Kevin. No, Big Bob. His
Icy
name was
Kevin.
That Big Bob or whatever.
Yeah,
Can we talk
I see,
about
Bob.
him?
What is going on here?
Like,
They
what
said
is
it
going
was
on?
71 below
Below.
zero.
And he was not
and
even-
he
he was
wasn't
It's not
even
even
flinching.
cold.
He's a zombie.
So
I
are they
think so.
adapting people in that thing?
You know what? Didn't he look altered or something?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
looks,
a zombie.
He's a walker.
altered.
like
See,
he's
that's
been
what I think Melanie was
stitched.
doing to the people in
Yeah,
the drawer. She was
yeah.
making zombies so she could fight a war against.
Oh,
Yeah, so we were just talking about this. What's his name? Big Tom, Big Bob,
Yeah,
the
that big Bob.
dude.
Big Bob.
Bobsicle is what I thought they called.
Bobsicle,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Well, didn't you notice that when she went to get her shoulder looked at,
Mhm.
that they seemed to have some different technology
The
that was
Yeah.
going to heal her quickly with no scars or anything. So they're
Yes.
definitely up to something over there.
You know what? And they were
Good catch.
weird, weren't they? Weird.
They were
acting?
very weird.
Mm.
Okay, now wait a minute. If you've been on a train for 7 years, your ass is weird.
No.
No, they were extra
No, they
weird.
were weird to her, saying, "Ooh, there she is. That she's the
Yeah.
one."
And then she's
So
like, ooh, she's
Wilford
already
done
angling.
told them some
She's already
shit,
angling, but we know, we're on it. Uh-huh. And
Exactly.
then they talked was like kind
and
of
she already knew them. She remembered them.
She did, yeah.
Mm.
But
No, I like-
damn, when they was digging in her little wound, I was like, okay.
Ew.
No, that was good. I mean, it was gross.
And
But-
they took off a whole
They
big
did.
piece of skin and put it in a little. Oh yeah, they're gonna be studying that
Uh-huh.
DNA.
Blown
Yes.
her ass.
Yeah,
I like
see,
where you're
that's what
going
I'm
with this.
thinking too, Sister A.
Oh, man.
That's the first thing I thought was, oh Lord, don't let them be a clone.
Damn.
Well, of course, that's fantastic because in the Snowpiercer, what they're doing is putting people in storage so they can wake those people up later.
That's true.
While
That's true.
in Big Betty or whatever, we wanna
Alice.
call
Big Alice.
Big Alice,
They're doing that
just
here
like
now
cloning
with
'em.
heads, right? What is it?
Yeah.
Cryogenics or something?
Yeah.
Believe me, people would take your money to do anything.
People think that freezing their motherfucking head is gonna make them reanimated. How stupid can you
I
be?
love
Walt
it.
Disney, what's up?
I don't think that's
When your
gonna
brain
happen.
is dead, your brain is dead. Ain't no freezing that gonna help.
See, that sounds like a whole nother podcast.
That's a
Are
whole
you
nother
really?
podcast.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
I'm with you though, but.
Yeah.
That's some deep shit right there.
Yeah,
I like
that's
the
deep.
the trains having two different solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to the
that's
idea of
good.
mortality, right? One is cloning,
Mhm.
and the other's no. It's just.
But I want to. But you know what? I want. Maybe they'll do it in the episode 2. But I want to see a scene where she's getting dressed or something, and we see there's no scar because I want to
Yeah.
see.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
love it.
that's coming.
because that's a
Surprise.
connection to the Frankenstein dude, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
see,
Yeah,
that's
he is
exactly
yeah.
Frankenstein.
Like
Mhm.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yes. And the fact that
And-
he should
but you know what though? To be honest with you, until Sister A, you mentioned it though, I really mentally hadn't put that two together. But that's real
I hadn't
good.
either.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
something's happening
Yeah.
over there.
And who was the Hound's
Yeah.
adversary in Game of Thrones?
his brother.
What they call him? I forget.
Oh,
Mountain?
the mountain.
The Mountain, because that
Yeah,
dude was
the
a zombie
Mountain.
in the end
He
too, right?
was.
So
He
I was looking at this guy
became-
thinking we got a Mad Max
because of
Game
the
Thrones.
because of the poison from Oberyn, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that idea of keeping the sane people alive.
And
versus
speaking
cloning
of
them.
poison, did you
Yeah.
notice that Wilford had a taster?
No, who was
Did he?
tasting?
Yeah, that
She
black chick.
did, she did taste
He
it.
ate his food first, and then she said,
Yes.
and she gave him a nod,
Okay,
and
she's
then he
not a-
went on and ate it.
but she didn't taste everything. So she,
No,
I mean,
but she tasted them potatoes.
yeah, no,
What I
she
thought
did.
was funny was, remember he asked for cucumbers, and the first time we saw cucumbers, he was in the bath with them on his eyes.
Yes,
And he took one off and ate it. He's
I
like,
loved it. And they're playing
His
David
big
Bowie Life on
bathtub.
Mars in the background.
Yeah, they were
With
playing
David
David Bowie.
Bowie.
I loved
was
it.
great.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
all of that leads me to experience him more and more as a cardboard eccentric, right? I just really hope they give him something I can respect. Like they
Yeah.
did with Melanie, right? They worked hard to make me sort of pseudo respect her.
Yeah, but okay, I don't necessarily agree because, in my opinion, I thought that whole scene was staged for her. I don't think it's saying anything about his personality. I think he staged that whole thing for her because he knew, because he had already summoned her. And the first thing she said was, oh, Alex isn't having dinner with us. That's what she was concerned about, seeing her daughter again. And it seemed to me he was concerned about showing her, yeah, okay, I know what you did. I know you ran the train and stuff, but hey, I'm not worried about you. I'm relaxing. Because he was very vulnerable, laying naked in a tub of bubble bath water. And there was, and I looked because I watched it more than one time. There was a dinner placing on the table with full silverware. Because remember, that was one of the things he asked for.
He wanted,
It was full silverware. That was the knife. I mean, hey, it wasn't like a carving knife, but it could have done some damage if she wanted to go there.
Oh, you mean her?
That's true.
And wasn't nobody else in the room but him and her.
Yeah.
Them guards wasn't in there.
I think
I think he did that to stage it for her.
I'm with you on that. I think stupid guys are always vulnerable to habits and doing the same stupid stuff.
Well, he doesn't think that she would have the gumption to do that.
Exactly.
That's what that was.
And that's funny because that shows how stupid he is.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's going to keep him
The
alive as
ego
long
again.
as she can.
She wouldn't kill me.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love it. And I really hope
if he only knew, she would kill him in a minute. If she thought she could get away with it.
at the last minute she needed to. That she ain't gonna kill him right now.
She doesn't need to kill him. Right. No,
she's gonna kill him when she has to.
Yeah.
Exactly. When she's done with him.
She can't do that because then her daughter would definitely be alienated forever.
So she'd have to mend
despite
that
the fact that, you know, she knows that Wilford's not the caring, loving person, her daughter doesn't know that yet.
The daughter needs to see.
But I thought it was, didn't you think it was really interesting of her, to me, I thought it was really interesting. The first thing she said was, oh, Alex isn't eating with us. She wasn't the least bit concerned about him.
No.
She wanted that opportunity to see her daughter again. Of
course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
and that's why he withheld her. That's exactly why she was not there.
And that's why he laid in the tub and put cucumbers in his eyes
to let her know I'm controlling this shit. Now Alex ain't here because I didn't tell him to be up in here.
He tried to assert that later when they're in the engine room.
Yeah.
And
And
I thought this was awesome also for Melanie because we already know she's, like you said, she's playing chess, everybody playing checkers.
Yeah.
She's thinking 4 steps ahead. She already knew Alex wasn't gonna listen to her.
I know.
She already knew the little girl was
banking on it.
She was banking on it.
Sister A is certainly correct.
Trigger.
She did. But she did the reverse psychology. Don't do it. You'll hurt everyone. You'll kill everyone.
And you'll never get over that mentally. You know, you for the rest of your life, you'll think about that. And that little girl, but see, I wanted to smack that child.
No,
because she's looking dead in her face.
She's
like this, going clink, and I thought, oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, because that's
well, I know that's what needed to happen, but I'm thinking, damn, he done brainwashed
Melanie knows she's salty and that she doesn't trust her and all that. She knows it, but she also knows because she knows that she got sent to the doctor for that. She knows because the girl listened to her. She hesitated when he told her what to do. He hesitated for the first time.
Yeah,
seen her.
Good point.
That's a good point because Melanie
some kind of an impact on her.
Good point. Good point. You know what? Because see, now that you mentioned, because Melanie would have peeped out the fact that nobody knew she had that injury on her shoulder, except she mentioned it to Alex that I tore my suit. And next thing you know, she's getting treated for it. So you're
and
right.
It shows that
That's
Melanie
a good point. That's a good point.
Melanie was gaining information about Alex during that whole, are you going to press the button or not?
Yes.
And at some point made a decision to make the play.
Yes.
I'm really excited. First of all, that's incredibly good writing, right?
Yes.
That we can sit here this far back and dissect that level of psychic interplay from moment to moment.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I look forward to it. I don't know. We don't know that Alex is his daughter, though, right? I mean, I feel strong.
No, we don't know. I'm just thinking.
I mean,
I'm
would
just
play
thinking by the way that Melanie talks about her, the daughter.
Yeah.
And the way that Wilford has talked about Melanie, he got her when she was 17.
Right.
All the way up. So yeah. And the way that Melanie said to Alex, you don't know him. You have no idea about him.
And then she realized that's too heavy-handed a play.
Right.
Exactly.
That play ain't gonna work.
It ain't
It's
So
not
what I
gonna
gotta
work.
do is just be in that moment with him being stupid, and I have to find ways to show you that who he is.
But the best part of that whole scene, the best part of the whole scene was the look that Melanie gave Alex, but Alex gave to Melanie.
Right. Exactly.
Oh man,
Like
that was
approval.
mucho respect
Yes.
from Alex to Melanie.
Yep.
And no one has talked to Melanie or Alex that way her entire
no.
life.
No.
Entire life.
Right.
Entire
Yeah.
life.
Right.
And I just not to
And
go too
Wilford
real.
knows it, and that's why Wilford, when she went to go stop or start the train back up,
Exactly.
he says, "No, you wait till I give the order."
Yeah.
Because I'm in
And she
charge.
would.
Yes. And Alex is like,
God.
"Okay, I'll give you that respect," but you know she was
Waiting.
itching just to hit it.
I tell you what, as I'm not trying to be too self-disclosing, but as a child of a divorced family, you see parents play these power games all the time. You see the ones that are good at it. You see the ones that are bad at it. And as the parent that is trying to take the high road, it is so hard. It is so hard to watch that other person tell shit stories about you
Yeah.
when you know they're going to, I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's
Yep.
really
And
hard.
not
to
say
not
anything.
retaliate and say it
Yeah.
back. But you
Yes.
don't have to do that.
How do you
High
play the long game
Yeah.
alone? I mean, that's the thing. You're stuck playing the long game alone.
Yeah.
I would argue that if our culture had a little more clear narrative about what it means to be a single parent, who you can lean on, and how we as a culture are going to help you get through this stuff, because we know what you're dealing with, people wouldn't go into these situations alone. But it's that sense of being alone and being helpless that Melanie is smart enough to play, right?
Right.
But not everybody is, and they just get played. And it's just kind of personally disgusting that that plays out that way. So I'm excited to see how this works out, and I'm excited.
I
to see
can't wait for the
Brotha.
next episode.
I know.
I know. It was just
It was
so
a great
good.
first
But I did like when Alex looked at Wilford and said, "She's smarter than you."
Mm,
She did say that.
She said that out loud to him.
yep.
She's smarter than
Which
you,
is when he
Dubs.
which is when he got mad and was like, "No, don't push it. Don't do it." till
Yeah,
I tell you."
Exactly.
Because he knows it's
He
true.
knows.
Mhm.
His ego's bruised.
But it was so good the way she did it. She was all for Alex, like, don't do this. You know, you're going to regret it. You're going to kill everybody. She knew good and well she sabotaged that thing. Everything. She was giving the girl a chance. She like Zombie Scotty said, she was feeling her out to see mentally where she was, where the brainwashing was, you know?
Yeah.
And then when she went on and pushed it and it blew up, and Wilford's talking about what happened? Did you see Melanie's whole demeanor change? She stood up there like, yeah, bitch, I did. Wait a minute. It was just like Lady Olenna. Yeah, tell Cersei it was me.
This is OG MIT, right?
Yeah.
You know, we just done you.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
you
my
thought
gosh.
that-
I loved it.
love
That was so
Remember when
good.
I told you about this? I told you.
She did say that.
So now I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And here's
Oh
why
my
that writing
gosh.
works so well, because she got into that train at the beginning of the episode. And by that time that event happened, I completely forgot that she had been under the train.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had
Yes.
forgotten.
And so, it's like, oh, damn, this girl's 4 or 5 steps ahead.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they didn't come out and say, by the way, she was 4 or 5 steps ahead.
Right.
There was no
They didn't
narrator,
knock
right?
us upside the head with it.
Yeah.
That was
Exactly.
so
Loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
But the look of satisfaction on Melanie's face, I loved it because I wanted her to have that win. I loved it. I loved it. It was just so good. But that look she get when Wilford finally told the girl, okay, yeah, go. because like Melanie pointed out, well,
We all gonna die then.
Exactly.
we all together. So yeah, you can stop it, but we all gonna be dead
We'll
in a
all
few
die.
minutes. So what you
And
gonna
she
do?
knows his whole point is not to be the one that's gonna be dead.
Exactly.
Yep.
She knew it was.
Well,
gonna
that's
be
what
Self-survival.
tyrants. Hey, above all else, in this series
Trying to
and
preserve
in
their
real
damn
life, right
Mhm.
today, tyrants want to live.
They ain't gonna sacrifice themselves.
No,
That's for
they
sure.
sacrifice your ass, but not themselves. And I don't know why these motherfuckers think they're gonna live forever. Anyway,
Oh.
but they think
They're
that mentally.
deluded.
Man, look,
They're
people
crazy.
there are all kinds of different people in this world. And what I will say is there are people that are much more persuadable, and there are people that are looking for simple answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to diss those people at all, because we can all get together and live a life where we can all complement each other's talents.
Exactly.
But when you get someone in charge that appeals to that need for simplicity, right, and give it a voice, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
And
Rough.
it's rough. And interestingly enough, it calls. What I love about this show is that Leighton is not scared of violence.
No. But he
Because
doesn't want to have violence just for the sake of violence. He
Right,
wants there
right.
to be a purpose for it
And a reason.
and a result at the end.
yeah,
You know
and
what I
he-
mean?
And he also knows that if you don't, at some point, how do I say this? Not sound like, if you don't do some ending to the stuff that's going to kill you, you're done. So
You're done.
You have to make those choices. That's what I loved about the first 5 seasons of Walking Dead. People didn't want to, but had to make.
But
those
you had
choices.
to, though.
Right.
You
You're going
had
to end
to.
today or not.
Right.
And
Right.
being able to be in that moment.
That's a good point.
And what I loved about The Walking Dead was the people that survived were the ones who could and manage their anxiety to get close enough to a zombie and kill it with a knife in the head. I mean, in other words, there were some people who just like saw a zombie, freaked out, and got eaten, even though the zombie was 15 feet away.
Right.
So the there's and then
It's true. Yeah.
But the people that survived were the ones that could manage their anxiety like long enough to say, all I got to do is just get you close, poof, and not lose my mind. And there's that
Yeah.
whole episode where Michonne and someone, they're just walking down the street. There's a whole bunch of zombies coming, and they're just poof, poof.
It's just like
poof.
matter of
I'm
fact.
not trying to be pro-violence, but I like this idea that you know when you're going to be done if you don't do it. And so I appreciate that Leighton's bringing that to the crew, right?
Well, I can tell you, if zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow, being in Texas be fine because everybody got a gun.
Everybody's got to go. The problem in Texas is they're going to shoot everybody. They're not going to know.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. So you better stay in your house.
Whether
'cause
you're
they
a
gonna
zombie
shoot
or not.
everybody.
Ain't going to be nobody safe.
No, you gotta make sure you got your bright lipstick on so they know, okay, they must still be alive.
Because they got lipstick
Because
on.
they got their
Yeah.
fresh shit on.
You got to
Wear
go out in the
Sistah
street and you got to
swag.
dance. You just got to dance so they know you're not zombie, right?
Oh gosh. There's too many people here. We would
I'll be
down.
carrying my wine glass. Say, hey, y'all.
Oh my God.
You
I
be
ain't no
eat-
Sophisticated zombie.
You be eating up quick because your ass ain't running, and I know my ass ain't running either.
Hey, I ain't running nowhere.
No.
That's why you gotta stay in the house.
But this
Oh,
was a great
yes,
episode.
this is a
It-
great
it
Very,
was-
very good.
first
It was a
episode.
very good start to
It
a
was.
season
Yes.
2. Yeah.
Yay! Thank you, thank you for not having the second season curse yet.
Yeah.
not yet.
Not
Fingers
yet.
crossed.
And I trust the writers to, I trust
Stay
that the
smart.
things we don't understand are going to be fleshed out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of the problems of another program I won't mention is that they're introducing all these things that I don't know if they're ever going to explain. And I'll suspend my belief if I trust you that,
Right.
you know, but if you're going to make me sit there and, oh, what happened there? And
What was the
why'd
point
you
of
do
that?
that?
Yeah, what was the point?
I'm not, I mean,
Mhm.
if it's poetry, you know, I'm fine. But if it's a narrative and there's a plot, then
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so like what would each of y'all give in a grade school rating that you would give this premiere episode of season 2 of Snowpiercer?
My standards are pretty high, yo, because Watchmen did it for me. If you want to do a show that has anything to do with contemporary issues, you have to do it as well as Watchmen did.
So what would you give it?
So given this, I would say 9-10. And I'm not going to lie. I think to toe the line now and tell that kind of tale and make me care about characters when you're on a train going on a roll.
Okay, you know what, Zombie Scotty? Zombie Scotty, this ain't no Olympic like a floor dances or nothing. I said grade like in school. Not Olympic.
Like CD.
That'd be an A, right?
Okay,
not no Olympic scale of 1 to 10.
I won't tell you why I'm doing 1s and 10s. I won't even tell you.
Oh, God. Oh, now you gotta tell us now. Then you gotta tell us.
I would give it a B+, A-.
A- for me.
Yeah.
It's definitely A territory. What I love about it is I really feel like I'm in the second act now. I really feel like, and I feel they did a really good job of taking me through a space where I hated someone and kind of came to admire them. Everybody's complex and it all made sense.
Yeah,
I get that for the first season, and I'm okay. I get why we are now, because Sean Bean said we waited out in Chicago for a couple of months or whatever for y'all, and okay, whatever. I'll believe that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they don't turn Sean Bean into a Tolkien Boromir, I'm in, right?
Okay.
He cannot be a cardboard character. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it's just another trope, and the stakes are too high right now. I mean, for me, Watchmen and Lovecraft Country set the sci-fi fantasy bar. And if you can't hit there, then you're not getting my 9s or 10s, or my B's or my A's.
How about you, Sister J?
My BAs.
I give it an A because I really enjoyed it. But before we go, you gotta say, how come? Why come? You was giving it 1 through 10?
Oh, that's complicated. I'll just say this. So I'm in administration at a university, and we do annual evaluations in January. And we give everybody scores of 1 to 10.
So it had nothing to do with no comedy thing, huh? Okay.
Damn. You can feel free to cut this boring content.
She was hoping there was more to it.
Yeah, I was hoping there was more to it.
Something's looking for the juice.
Exactly.
A juice.
Believe me,
Scotty, the juice.
There ain't no juice here. Let's just stay in the night car. Let's just stay in the night car. Well, there's plenty of juice to go around.
He needs a few more beers to loosen him up.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Right.
Someday, y'all, if you want, later in life, when I'm a little more removed from where I am, we can talk about what 1 through 10 really means. But
Okay.
But it has to do with the fact that I've had to do this gig for a month.
Well, just for the record, I haven't watched all of Watchmen because y'all know I was out, and I haven't watched Lovecraft, so I really didn't understand your comment. But I do like your grade. You said
Cool beans.
A territory.
I think we're all on the same
page.
page.
We are.
I think we are
on
too.
The same page. Well,
all right.
Thank y'all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this commentary of Snowpiercer. We will be here every week, and we will have different guest hosts joining us. We know Zombie Scotty is going to join us again in the future, and we cannot wait for that. Thank you so much, Zombie Scotty.
You make me feel important. I love you, lady.
You are important to us.
Right back at you.
Yes, right back at you.
Hey, do the hard thing.
And at least 25% of you are Liverpool fans. So that's...
All right.
And all of you can dance. So, that works.
Oh, there you go, Sister A.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Oh, wow. She's got...
how about that Tottenham match, man?
Woo!
Oh, I think the best team won.
They sure did, Jose.
Oh, my God. I loved that match. They were themselves. I'll shut up.
So for all y'all out there in the nation, you can find us if you have comments that you want to tell us what you think about this season of Snowpiercer. We would love to hear your feedback and read it on the podcast. You can send it to sistahspeak@gmail.com and put Snowpiercer in the subject line so we know that's what you're writing for. We would love to hear it. You can also leave a voicemail at 972-755-1215 or go to speakpipe.com/sistahspeak and leave your voicemail that way. If you would like to find us on social media, we're everywhere.
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 Where are we at, Sister A?
We airware.
We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Sistah Speak podcast. We have a great, beautiful Sistah Speak group, private group called Sistah Speak Nation, where we talk about all kinds of things, life, movies, TV, everything. We're on Twitter at _Sistah and our letters. And we do have a Patreon page where we're creating so much content over on Patreon, patreon.com/Sistah Speak. Go and check us out over there. We are also, our website is sistahspeakproductions.com. And also, I would love to have Zombie Scotty let us know where he can be found in his podcast.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. So I have a YouTube channel I call Dark Loops Productions, where we talk about pop culture from the perspective of science, the humanities, the arts, and all things live life. The major focus is making sure that everything stays real, and we always connect it to live life. All of these lovely women have participated in podcasts with me, including Sister LM. And again, it's just go to YouTube and it's Dark Loops Productions. No, there you go.
We miss you, LM.
Yeah. All
All
right.
back for us. So that is it for now. I am Sister K.
I'm Sister J.
I'm Zombie Scotty.
And I'm Sistah A.
See y'all next time. Bye.
Did we say bye-bye?
Yes. This Tailie is going to bed.
And this Tailie is out.